Vibes with Rodney King, and yet again, I'm bringing you an exclusive edition. I promised you we're gonna be having a lot of gist and informative information about our music industry, and we talk to creative people who have achieved in different ways of life and the music industry. Today, I have a great man, a very great man that I look up to, you know, from the Ghana music industry. His Nana Victor Tieku, a guitarist, a band leader, a composer, a producer, sound engineer, an entrepreneur, and a chief, a development chief. And this man, I hold him very high esteem because he's an idol in the kind of business I do. And every day I've shared knowledge with him. It's been an enlightenment. And I wanted the world to just hear a piece of the knowledge that I get from this man every time I talk to him. Welcome, Nana Victor Tieku, to Vibes with Rodney.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Rodney. I'm glad to be here.
Yes, Daddy.
I'm glad to be here. It's been a long time since you and I saw each other too.
Yes,
Man,
Daddy.
COVID has made us have so much distance between us.
I know, Daddy.
A couple of years ago, we'll be back home in DC, helping and nothing, right?
Yes, Daddy.
All right. It's all cool. Everything looks good.
It's a pleasure, Daddy. I would like to say it's a honor having you on the show. And when I called you to come and bless us with some vibes, you really honored my invitation. I want to say thank you very much and welcome again to Vibes with Rodney.
I'm glad to be here. Because I know what you want us to talk about is very dear to our hearts. But more importantly, I'm a service person. I believe that we provide what we've accumulated through the years for society. Exactly. And so anytime we have a situation where we can outreach to the whole world or to our country or to Africa, and we've got something that's worth sharing, putting it out there so the youth can grab onto it and make certain adjustments that makes us all and our children's children live a better life in whatever they do, that's what I'm all for. So thank you for reaching out to me because, without exposure, nobody knows what you're thinking. Nobody knows what you want to do. Nobody knows how you're contributing or what your politics is. So exactly. Once again, thank you very much.
Blessings, Daddy. I know, Mr. Tieku, you've been my godfather for a great amount of years. Who would you say Mr. Nana Victor Tieku is?
Oh boy, that's a question. All right, Rodney, you're putting me on the spot, but hey, I'm a musician, I'm a band boy. I know how to be on the spot with lights blasting in your face, you got to deliver. Who am I? I am someone who likes to do what I think is right and what I know, have studied, I've learned, and try to share what I've gathered in my experience in the world with people. I'm actually very philanthropic with my time and my money. There's a joke they have at where I live now when I'm in Ghana around Winneba Junction. They say, all the money I've spent on people, if I'd used it to raise cows or cattle, I would have had a big ranch because I spent so much money taking care of other people, Exactly. So I'll say I'm a simple guy who really understands what this whole natural experience is about. And I try to live within it. What I want to be is what I'm still struggling with, and I hope I become that before I die. And I want to be an African before I die. And when
Wow.
I say that, people go, what do you mean? Yes, I was born in Africa. I've got African blood, but I'm a hybrid. I'm mixed. But I want to be a full African before I die. So
Wow.
what I am is not important. It's what I want to be that's important to me.
Wow. Very interesting, Daddy. Growing up, Daddy, in the music industry, I saw you like not exaggerating like a god because the what you owned as a musician, it was so great. You know, what what was your growing up like? Where did you grow up, and when in your age did you connect to music? Did you realize music was part of you?
That's another interesting question. Well, I was born in Ghana. I was born in a town called Salt Pond. Everybody knows Salt Pond, right? My parents were educators. My dad was an English teacher, and then later on the field as an education officer. My mother was a teacher. My grandfather was a very famous Ghanaian teacher, which is my mom's father. And my grandfather on my father's side, who's mixed, was from the Akwapi Mountains, from a town called the Ukugwa,
Okay.
and he was a salesman. And so I was born in a family where my dad had 10 children. I was the fourth born of the third wife. So, but that was the wedded wife. My dad had three children before my mom, and
Okay.
I'm the firstborn. But my mom's mother was a famous singer.
Okay.
My mom's mother is Georgina Dennis, the singer, famous singer in the Methodist Church in Saltpond and Cape Coast
Okay.
back in the day. So I grew up with music in the genes already.
Okay.
I remember you making a lot of noise with drums and not drums, but like with pans and um, tables and stuff. And my dad yelling at me, "Stop making all that noise," you know.
Yeah.
But I also had soccer in my background. My uncles played in the Ghana Black Stars, so
Okay.
I had both of them. I had soccer and music. But my parents were educators, so we were brought up in a strict. You go to school, it's a classroom. You come home, it's a classroom. I was brought up like that and very proper, you know.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
luckily, my dad built a house in a village, the first district that he was made an education officer of. He loved that area, which is where my mom's heritage comes from, that Akunfi area. My dad built a house there. So we live in the city of Accra. On vacation in holidays, we'll go to the village. And that's when I heard the traditional drums. The music that's played there is called the Asafo music,
Okay.
Asafo. So
Asafo.
that went inside of me. Yes, I got that in my system. But when you're a musician, you're a musician. You see, if
From
it's
which part
inside of you, I
of
believe
Ghana?
central region,
Central
central
region.
region.
So okay.
Yeah.
So what year was this?
Oh, what year did we live in the village? You want me to reveal my age? Jesus Christ!
That is, it's a music history in it because the other day
It's a
I
music
was
history,
speaking
but
to this
I'm in
guy.
America now. In America, we don't like to give away our ages.
I was speaking to this
If I was
guy
in Ghana,
from Italy, and he was telling me about a type of music they used to practice in the 30s, 1930s, called tarantula, and they used to use the
tarantula.
music to heal sick people. So we are doing this music history thing. I want to know what year Asafo, the Asafo music, was being practiced in the central region of Ghana.
No. Asafo music is from ancient Ghana. Asafo
Okay.
music is the music of the warriors, the Obumankumo Dapajano Nosunda. That's the music we moved down from the ancient Ghana to where we are now. This is a Khan music.
Okay.
Asafo basically is a derivative of the warrior. Asafo, those are the warriors.
Okay.
And these are the songs that the warriors sang. And and we use bells and drums, you know,
Okay.
and to play this music. So the musical form is called Asafo. Basically, it means war,
Okay.
war dance, war music.
Whoa.
So that's what it is, and you got to hear it. I don't know anybody who's written Asafo songs in the mainstream. I have some of them. They're going to be coming out very soon. It's different. It's different from the normal African music you hear, but hybriding it into a contemporary African system style is what I've worked on those for years, but it's not out yet. And we're going to go to why music is not out. So
okay.
Asafo is my music. That's what beats inside of me. Yeah.
Okay. So you were telling us about the growing up with the music. Yeah.
Yeah, so I grew up, and then also my dad had a Grundig, and my dad is very Western, he was brought up, my dad has got some white blood in him, and so his taste was very international, and he played very good music from England and Ireland and Greece. My dad loved Greek music and also the African music. So I grew up at home listening to a wide range of music, different stuff. And as a kid, once you got music inside of you, you grasp onto it. It gets revealed in your growth from time to time. But the traditional music that I heard in the village, because we go to the village during the holidays, and then we come back to the city. The traditional music was interred in my bones, and the hybrid of it is what I think I am musically. I like the blend of my ancestral music, and I mean the real African music, not what some people call African music now. I mean the music of my ancestors, I love that music. Yeah.
Okay.
We still haven't done anything with it yet, but it's coming.
All right. So you've been this musical icon. You've been on this musical journey because I have really studied your journey as my own theory to music lessons. So I know a bit of your journey. Tell me about your first exposure to live band. And yeah.
So I went to this high school in Ghana called Infantsum Secondary School. It's the oldest secondary school in Ghana. And when I went to Form 1, which is the first year in the high school had a reputation of having a very good band. And so before I went to the school, there was a famous band there, and one of the musicians in that band was somebody that I idolized, because I did the entrance exam to go to that school in the same town, which is in Cape Coast. Okay. And so there was this guitarist called Alfred Bannerman that I knew, and I knew off. And he was a great guitarist, a great musician, and he was in this school. So when I went to the school, and this school, my mother's uncle was one of the original people who were the first 8 people to be in the school. They call the Faithful 8. Yeah. So I have a history. All my uncles and all my all my uncles went to that school. So and my older brother went to the school. So I have a history with the school. All my younger brothers also went to the school later. My dad didn't go to that school. But so when I was in the school, the second year, a parent who was also an old student of the school bought a set of school instruments for the school. And the music department had a teacher who was my mother's best friend when they were little kids growing up in Solpon. Okay. And he was called Mr. Mpakosa. And he is the one I owe everything I know in music. He's the one I owe. I mean, he's my mentor. He's the one I wish he could be here for me to thank 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times. And he was the English teacher there, and he knew my mother. So I didn't do music the first term because I tried to do art, not knowing what to do. I chose art, and I'm not a good artist. I mean, I can't draw. Yeah. So second term, my parents switched me to go do music. And when I got there, thank God I switched, because that's when I really realized that this is my calling. Exactly. And that teacher helped me out. He taught me a lot of stuff. And the first time we played, the school was going to be 100 years in 1976. So now I'm giving away my age stuff. I mentioned the year.
Exactly.
The school was going to be 100 years in 1976. So um, they're trying to form a band that would to commemorate the occasion. Well, there were bands in the school. There were very good bands. Uh, there was Majestic Breezeman. There were a lot of other bands, basically groups. We all had one school instruments, right? And so another friend of mine who was a year ahead of me, his nickname was Abinga. He was a keyboard player, Ishan. He came to me and says, Victor, I see you play the guitar. We're trying to form this band. We're going to call the Centenary Boogies, which centenary meaning 100 years, Boogies, and we want you to be the guitar player. And so I said, yes, I'll join. I'll be a part of it. And so I got involved in the band, and the vacation before the ceremonies, we stayed in the school and rehearsed for 3 months. So within those 3 months when we're rehearsing, professional bands used to come and play in town in Cape Coast. And I spoke the language of Accra, which is called the Ga language. I speak Ga and Fanti. Okay. And I was living in Sefiwi also, which is another town where my dad was the education officer there then when I was in that year when I was in high school. Yeah. So I could speak a little Sefi too. So these bands will come from Accra and come and play in Cape Coast. So when they came to play, most of the musicians spoke Ga. Some didn't, but a lot of them spoke Ga. So one day I told Ashan, we should go and try and sit in with those bands, basically go jam them. Okay. And he was like, oh, no, we can't. I said, no, we can't. He said, they won't let us go. I go, don't worry. I will handle this. So I knew the band would come early, so I went and met, and the band was called Vis-a-Vis, which is French, right? And this band was a very big band in Ghana back then. So I went and I met the singer. The singer was called Anthony Yabua. He's still alive. I'll never forget that day. That was the first day I played to a paid audience. So I went and negotiated with him and says, oh, we've been on tour for so long. We're tired. So if you guys, what school is it? I said in Francis, because my school has a good reputation. It's a great school. Exactly. So if you guys are from Francis, okay, we'll let you play when we go on break. Wow. I went and told my fellow band members, they were all ecstatic. They were like, wow. You know, our school instruments didn't have that much amplitude. Okay. The amplifiers were not that great. So when the show was at this place called the Legion Hall, which is a hall for old soldiers, right? Yeah. The Legion Hall in Cape Coast. Okay. And we went and sat in that day. Oh my God. The amplifiers were so loud, the instruments, everything. I mean, I was like sweating in my hands. I was so nervous, but that was my first professional gig. Okay. And we didn't get paid. I mean, we're just jamming, right? Yeah. But that very moment, I realized this is my calling. You know, this is really what I want to do. I want to be a professional musician. Okay. So that day spiked it. I mean, I knew I was going to be good because I'm a good composer. I come up with good melodies, you know. Exactly. And but that day with Vis-a-Vis cemented it all.
Telling me this story makes me feel like back then the Ghanaian colleges and high schools, or the education was more embodied with entertainment and theoretical music, or were exposed to music that much. Would you say that was the case, or you think now we have it more than that time? The opportunities as a student, like you said, you came out from Mfansipim and you went out there and got a gig. Even mentioning your school name, which we had, but we had Fun World. Fun World was not playing live. Fun World was miming, microphone over beat, like overdubs, and that's what we've grown up with. Do you understand? But with your age, can I say that is why you were more inspired to do live music, and there was more live band in the 70s?
Good question. The thing is this. We used to have leaders in this country. We used to have leaders. We used to have people with vision. I'm not saying we don't have now, but I don't think the people with vision are being given the chance to contribute to this nation. Yeah. When I was a kid, when my high school days, most high schools, we called them secondary schools, most secondary schools had groups. Even those who didn't have musical instruments had groups. People would form bands. There were groups because a band has to have instruments and all that, right? Yeah. So there were groups, a keyboard player, an organist, a drummer. They practiced with chop boxes, melodicas, acoustic guitars. I mean, I remember my first acoustic guitar. I had them make it in the carpentry shop in Infantsville. Wow. People, yes, but we were studying music in school. I was studying music. I was studying proper music. You know, I was a music student. Yeah. Music was one of my subjects. Okay. But most secondary schools had that because it was encouraged. It was part of the school curriculum. Okay. I don't know. I was too young to know what the funding was. I'm yet to find out how the funding was. But somehow we had annual competitions in the country to figure out which band was the best band in the country and all that. And there was never a shortage of groups to register for those shows. It was a very vibrant music thing that went on in Ghana back when I was in high school. So the atmosphere was such that you didn't think that getting into becoming a musician was going to be a problem, you know. And then we had the right role models. We had musicians who were very acclaimed. We had the E.T. Minces, we had Ebo Taylor, we had Stan Plan, Uhuru Dance Band, and before that we had the Axim Trio. My dad had all those records. We had Nana Mpedu, you know, yeah. Ramblers and all that. These are those who are ahead of me, and they played excellent music, and they were excellent musicians. Yeah. They had issues. They had issues with the industry too. But it was way better than when I got involved in the music industry as a professional musician playing. Okay. It was way better than that time. And and there are so many reasons for it. And trust me, I've done all that research about what happened. But to answer your question, I would say the educational system really considered music an integral part of what we were supposed to be studying. Okay. It was a very important area for us to study, and so the opportunities were there for those who wanted to be musicians to become musicians. Yeah. I'm one of the products of that.
Exactly. Talking about the product, I know you are one of the products of the Ghana music history when Ghana music started getting exported out of Ghana. When did that breakthrough come? When you had to leave Ghana with your music? What happened? Just tell us about how it felt and what brought that breakthrough to move out of Ghana to play with the legendary Fela.
Well, we see, when I decided I wanted to be a professional musician, my dad wouldn't let me just be a band boy. We say band boy are those who just play in bands. Okay. I was lucky enough to get offered a job. The first band I played with was a high school called Straight School of Business. The musicians won the national competition the year that we had the Centenary Festival. Yeah. That I was playing with Centenary Boogies. Yeah. And they came to do a show in Cape Coast during our Centenary Boogie performance that same time. And they met me, and I jammed with them at Town Hall. And they loved the way I played guitar, and they wanted me to be a part of that group. I didn't go to Straight School of Business. I was an Infantsville boy. Yeah. But they were all very nice people, and so they became my friends, and they've been my friends for life. Okay. So I started playing with them. And they had won the competition, so they had a lot of following, and they had gigs. So I did a lot of gigs with them. And then I told my parents I wanted to become a professional musician. Of course, they didn't agree to that. So I had to elope from home to try and do music, and against their wishes. And I mean, I went through hell. That's another conversation.
Yeah.
Trying to convince educators that you're not going to pursue what they wanted you to be,
Exactly.
but you're going to become a musician wasn't a joke. And my schoolmates and the peer pressure group, I mean, just the community, everybody was like, man, he's wasting his life. Look at what he's doing. He's like, you know, this is such a nice, bright boy. There's such an intelligent kid. This is what he's going to do. Back then, guess what? Jimi Hendrix had died of a drug addiction,
okay,
of a drug overdose. A lot of musicians were dying of drug overdoses. Musicians were having babies all over the place. People were smoking dope, which then they told us was very bad. And so, and you see musicians, they go out all night, they come home during the day, they are sleeping, they walk around, they look like they are no good, you know?
Yeah.
They look like they're never going to succeed. So we were branded as the black sheep.
Of course. Yeah.
And so you don't have support, but people are in awe of you when you stand on stage and play. So making that decision to become a musician was very difficult. But to your question,
yeah.
The timing of when I decided to become a professional musician, I rose up pretty quick.
Okay.
Within a year and a half, I was a band leader.
Okay.
Because I was an educated musician and I knew how to speak, and I mean I knew how to do things, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether it was the luck of the draw or whether it was just nature's way. I became a band leader commanding a whole band. And I brought a lot of musicians I played with the Busy Bees, which was a band from Sweetu Business, into the band in Teshi, which is Teshi Guest Matari. Okay. The band was called the Guest Matari.
Guest Matari.
And that is where I grew up really fast in this industry. Before that, a high school junior of mine had introduced me to his mom, okay, who worked at the USIS, the United States Information Service in Ghana. Okay. And she told me to read about music. So I went to the library all the time and I read about music business books. Okay. This is early. This is when I was in Guest Matari. Okay. And I was also doing my correspondence course in music, you know, to get a diploma in music. I was doing that at the same time. Yeah. So I was thrown into the industry. And the industry had a lot of problems. When you ask those of us who played way back there, we'll tell you, it was so good comparatively to now. Yeah. But it was not so good comparatively to how the music industry was anywhere else in the world. But in the rest of the world too, the music industry was not so good because musicians were being cheated. Yeah. And other countries went through their struggles to get to where they are now. But we in Ghana, every musician's dream was to go and play abroad, because we had a band called the Sibisa, which you know, which traveled from Ghana and went abroad and became a big hit in the whole world. I mean, they became superstars, right? Yeah. So every Ghanaian musician, those were our role models. Every Ghanaian musician in my time dream was to go to Europe or go to America, form a band and play, because we knew we were that good, you know, but we didn't have the money. So I had a plan with my band. We were going to go record. Yeah. We were saving up money to go record in Nigeria, and then when we get the money, we travel to Germany and go and start playing music. That was our dream. That was our plan. That was our business plan. Yeah. Well, all that didn't happen because I was in Ghana, and when I was in high school, Fela came to play in Ghana. Yeah. And when the Fela came to play, he played at Apollo Theater. Okay. There's a club in Ghana called Apollo Theater. Okay. And during those shows, I went and I sat in and jammed. Okay. I went and sat in with one of Fela's shows, you know? Yeah. The song was Upside Down. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know Fela had realized, I remembered who I was. So I was playing in Guest Matari. I was there one day, I see a beautiful woman coming towards me. She didn't know who I was, so she went to ask for me, and they said, I'm the one. She walked by. And what's the story? She's been sent by Fela Kuti to come get me. Wow. So that's how I ended up in Fela.
Wow.
And so that was exponential growth from the beginnings to ending up in Fela, you know.
So
But
then,
in between
Daddy,
there,
you are a pioneer of Afrobeat.
I'm not a pioneer of Afrobeat. But Fela, when I was in high school, Fela was happening already. Fela was a big star already. But you know, Fela always had a lot of musicians in his band because his band was like a stepping stone for a lot of musicians to go abroad and better their career. So he always had like multiple musicians. And every time he went on tour, a lot of musicians stayed in Europe and never came back to Africa, you know. Um, so he always had a shortage of musicians. But Fela loved Ghanaian musicians because Fela interacted with Ebu Taylor and a lot of Ghanaians. Fela's main idol in life was Kwame Nkrumah, our former head of state, you know.
Yeah.
And Fela's mother was Kwame Nkrumah's friend when they lived in England. So when Fela hears of a Ghanaian musician, he's interested in the musician.
Exactly.
And he was married to some Ghanaian women too. You know, Fela had multiple wives. So that all made that good. But I was in the band for almost like a year without really doing much. I would just go to practice. I'll be there. There are other guitarists there too, you know.
Yeah.
And so I kind of, back then I was like I am now, a student of the business. I'm always studying. I mean, I've been brought up in a studios environment, both at home and my family, you know.
Okay.
So I like to learn. So I was studying stuff. I was trying to figure out stuff. I was studying music. I was studying the business of it. I was studying the culture of it. And that's what I did. And I think that's what's helped me the most. It's my want to learn on the job. And I've done all my learning on the job. I believe in practical learning, you know?
Yeah.
So that was the dream. But then I ended up in Nigeria, and the rest is the rest is recorded and filmed history.
Yes, Daddy. All right. So, any memories of Talakuta working with Fela? How was the environment?
I can write a movie. I can write books about it. I mean, I've seen they've done the Broadway thing, and they've done. I mean, there are different impressions of it, but trust me, I was a student. I was an observer, and I have very good memory. I can write mega sellers about my experience with in Fela's band. The music, the culture, the what do you call it? The accusations that are wrong, the facts, the brilliance of Anikulapo Kuti,
Yeah.
his fears. I mean, I could tell you so much stuff. I mean, there's so much that's been put out there, but I was one of them. I have info.
Yeah, I know, Daddy. All right. This is live with Rodney King, and this interview, this reasoning is getting deeper and interesting. I hope our fans are really enjoying this. And for the fans on Facebook and YouTube, you can put your questions, any question you want to ask Nana Victor Tieku, you can put it down there, I'll ask him. But we're going deeper. Now we're coming from the history part, we're coming to the current, you know. Daddy, let's come straight to Campsite Studios in Ghana music industry. What year did Campsite Studios decide to come to Ghana?
Well, so I came to Americas with Fela's band. When we were coming, Fela couldn't come. He was arrested at the airport. Okay. And the story is when Fela was arrested, all the musicians didn't go on the plane because they thought that was it. But I went on the plane. Okay. And the plane had announced this is Nigeria airport, right? Muritala Muhammad Airport. The pilot and they announced that every member of the Fela's band should get down. But you see, I knew the way things work. And I knew that before we got that show. We went on a tour in England.
Yeah.
Or basically in Europe. We did a tour in Europe.
Yeah.
I was there when the American promoters came to talk to Fela. I was there when those shows were booked for Americas. And we went back to Nigeria to get visas to come to America.
Okay.
They wouldn't give us, the Ghanaians in the band, visas in Nigeria.
Okay.
It was a headache. We had a very short time before we would come to America for those shows. And I was one of the musicians who needed a visa. Well, guess what? I was a guitar player, bass player. I played both instruments in the band, depending on what song, you know?
Yeah.
And so when the visas were not coming, it became like, okay, they can get session guitarists or session bass players in America.
Yeah.
So they should ignore us, the Ghanaians, and get the visas to come to America. Well, Fela didn't like that. But this is what the promoters were suggesting.
Okay.
So somehow, there was a U.S. Representative from where I am now, from Oakland. He was called Ron Dellums.
Okay.
Somehow, Ron Dellums got to hear about this, because Fela wasn't being given visas just because he was Fela, because we talked about Black emancipation.
Great.
You know?
Yeah.
And Ron Dellums helped work for us to get visas. When we landed at New York,
yeah,
I was detained for 12 hours.
Wow.
Why? Because the stuff was, I have the capacity of not going back. Because they talked to me, they knew I could survive in America.
Yeah.
But so when we landed, Fela was arrested at the airport. So the band wasn't coming. So when I went to sit in the plane, I was doing a political statement, because I knew that if I was in the plane wasn't going to go unless the band went.
Of course.
And that is exactly what happened. The rest of the band had to come on the plane. So we came to America to do shows. The first time in the life of Fela Kuti and the Egypt 80 stroke African 70 band, yeah, that the band did an international tour without Fela. Mark that. That's an achievement. I made that happen.
Okay.
It's never written anywhere, but I did.
Wow.
And they all know it. Yep. Well, I got on the plane and they all came and we came. So American Promotions, where's the artist? It was a big deal here. There's no Fela, Ticketron, Ticketmaster, all of them, they wanted their money back. The fans wanted their money back.
Wow.
How is that going to be? So we're going to be stranded in America with shows.
What year was this?
Because Fela, I've told you, stop asking about years.
Mr. Tieku, this one is uncut, you know. This is uncensored.
I know it's uncut. Somebody's got to tell this story. This story is going to get out, because we're not getting any younger, you know. So we landed in America, and there were promoters, and I met a Ghanaian here, very, very influential Ghanaian in my life up till now. He's the one I met that changed everything for me. He was a professor at the University of Berkeley his name is C.K. Lagzepo. He's a musicologist.
Yeah.
The best drummer you ever meet on this planet.
Exactly. Salute.
I'm telling you that.
Salute.
I'm telling you that. He's unsung.
Yeah.
I mean, he's famous in the world a little bit, but I'm talking about real drums.
Exactly.
No way. No size, as Ghanaians will say. No size. So I met CK. CK speaks He doesn't speak Fanti. So he spoke Ga. And so I speak Ga, right? So me and him, we connected right at the airport. Yeah. We're going to play at the University of Berkeley. So, but this is the thing. The Berkeley students, Berkeley is a very liberal city. They wanted, somehow, the Fela entourage, the leadership of the entourage believed that Fela was going to be released in jail in Nigeria so he could make the trip.
Okay.
I knew Fela wasn't going to come. And you know, there's a Fela song, that's the same song I jammed when I first jammed Fela at Apollo Theater in Ghana. It's called Upside Down. That's the only song that somebody else sang for Fela.
Okay.
And the lady is called Sandra. And we actually went to visit Sandra in Los Angeles before we came to Berkeley. No, after Berkeley, but Sandra came to Berkeley. And I said, we've got to do something. I was saying this in my head. We've got to do something because I knew by studying the business of music that this is the basic contract has been broken because Fela is not here. The promotional contract has been broken. So how are we going to get with it?
Exactly.
But a lot of money has been put into promotion. A lot of money has been put into airfares. And we're a big band. We're a 23-piece band.
Yeah.
Hotels have been booked and stuff, so we've got to salvage something. So I came up with the idea. Change the promotion from Fela Kuti and the Egypt 80 to F Kuti and the Egypt 80.
Wow.
I'm an unsung hero on this. It is called solutions, coming up with solutions. That's what I do. I come up with solutions on the fly because I'm a composer. My brain has got to come up with solutions.
Exactly.
Guess what? That is how Femi got his first gig. Femi Kuti. That's how Femi got his first major gig in the world. University of Berkeley, Zellerbach.
Wow.
I played bass for that show.
Wow.
That was Femi's first front show. Now, this is trivia. Tell anybody in the world. I said so.
Yes. So Ghana and Nigeria have a lot of music history.
Sometimes I don't even want to hear people say Ghana, Nigeria, Nigeria, Ghana. We are Africans.
Exactly.
Didn't people listen to Kwame Nkrumah? What's this Ghana, Nigeria, Fanti, Ghana, Hausa? What's this bull?
Don't worry.
Excuse my French. People should get with it. We've come a long way, When we play music, Ghanaians, Nigerians, do you really know where you come from? Do you really know your great-great-great-grandfather 15 times away? Do you know where he comes from?
Exactly.
Nobody really knows.
Yeah.
No? We've got to be divvied up. We're divided and we're suffering. But that's not the point of this conversation, so don't let me go on my political tirade.
Yes.
Well,
so you were talking about Femi's performance. Yeah.
Yes, so we did the show. When we did other shows and we finished that show. But I had some complications because I was too vocal.
Okay.
All the interviews I was having, because people realized I was talking, all the interviews I was having, I was talking a lot. And who was I talking against? Then I was a little naive, not very naive, but a little naive because I was holding Nigerian government responsible for Fela not coming.
Okay.
So one of the musicians was told by somebody who worked in the NSO, one of the NSO agents, NSO is Nigerian Security Organization's agents, told him that he should warn that guy to stop talking. If not, if he goes to Nigeria, he's going to be in trouble. If he comes back, he's going to be in trouble. And he came and told me that with the band leader, which is Leko Animasha Babani. This is why I stayed in America. I was threatened. Okay. I was threatened because I was very politically defending my band leader, right?
Okay.
I was saying what is right, but I'm somebody who doesn't mince words because there's only one truth. Ghanaians will say there's only one truth.
Yeah.
You can't have two truths. You know, and when it is, it is.
Exactly.
If you arrive at that point and you're quiet, you are an abater, or you are somebody who's aiding dysfunction. And when you come to a point where you know the truth, you've got to express it. You've got to say it. You got to let people understand what the truths are. If not, you're not helping society.
Exactly.
So that's what I did. And thank the creator. Somebody made me know that I had the possibility of getting whacked if I went back to Nigeria. I didn't know how true that is, but I wasn't going to take any chances, right?
Yeah.
So I stayed over. That's how I ended up in America.
Okay.
So it's been a journey.
So from that journey, I was asking, what year did Campsite Recording Studios establish in Ghana?
So I stayed in America till when I had to do an adjustment of documents, which means I had to become legal. I lived in America illegally for about 5 years.
Okay.
But really, I could have filed for political asylum. You know,
Okay.
I didn't because I didn't believe that. So when I had to do my documental adjustments, I had to come to Ghana. The paperwork included coming to Ghana and going to Nigeria to prove that you didn't commit any crimes when you were back in Ghana and when you were in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And I went to Nigeria, and this whole thing came up at Alabon Close, where they said, "You are Victor, eh? We've been waiting for you." But thank God it was a different government when I got back, you know.
Okay.
And a very good friend of mine in Nigeria, Lekon Animashon, may God bless you, Lekon Ogumbao, may God bless you. And then he helped me out, and I got all my documents, and I came back to Ghana. But when I came back to Ghana. When I came to Ghana, when I was leaving Ghana, I started getting involved with recording. I would go to Ghana Films Recording Studio because there were only 2 studios that I knew of in Ghana. There was one in Kumasi, and then there was the Ghana Broadcasting Studio in Accra, right?
Okay.
And there was a senior man called Mr. Archer and Mr. Kwachi. They were those who were there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'd interacted with them a little bit because we did it. And then there was the Napoleon Studio, which was Faisal Hawani Studio, which I recorded there with Bessie Simons and Dutch Bengals. We did the song Kromansina Banze, Abre Wambiso, Kromansina Banze. You know that song, right?
Yeah.
We recorded it there in the Napoleon Studio.
Wow.
So when I came back to Ghana, I went to Ghana Films. Then, you know, this Atari recording computer stuff I started, which is, I was a big part of it here. But I didn't know they started doing that in Ghana because then there were no mobile, there were no cell phones. To call home, you got to go book a call and have your dad drive all the way from the village to come to Accra to come and receive a call. So I was really not in touch. You have to write letters, no email. The world was totally different, right?
Yeah.
So I go to Ghana Films and they were doing recordings. It's a studio board. The sound is great, but they had no effects. When I was coming, I brought a couple of effects. I brought an XPX90 and I brought another, it was a Roland box.
Yeah.
So I go to the studio and they were not having any effects, right? I told Mr. Kwachi, because Mr. Kwachi, I call him boss. He's my boss. Oh, I've got some effects. He says, you have effects? Bring him to the, I brought him to the studio. So I ended up spending a lot of time in the studio.
Okay.
Just people using my effects to record. So I realized, man, we have a problem, just like we did all those years I was trying to get my head above water in Ghana. The lack of proper recording equipment is a big deal. Well, before I went to Ghana, in America, I'd gotten involved in studying the industry. I was doing equipment sales. I was the main distributor of musical equipment to Africa. Then there was no internet. So if you're going to buy a PA system, you got to go through me.
Yeah.
I mean, I had 23 companies I represented. I represented from Shure to DBX, all of them. I was their representative. I built PAs in Uganda, in Kenya, you know, all that. That's what I was doing.
Okay.
So I said, wow, now digital is coming up. So, and there were these guys in the studio in Ghana Films, DeGraff Johnson and Bilson. They just come out of NAFTA, you call it, right? Or NAFTA, what is it?
The film
NAFTA, yeah, not NAFTA. I'm in America too long. I'm saying NAFTA. They came out from NAFTA, and they were there doing their internship. So I said, so I looked at the scene and I realized, okay, how do we get this industry going? Because I'm a proud Ghanaian. When I'm here in America and we meet and so where are you from? I say Ghana. People, Ghana. I have to say I'm Fela's guitarist before you get recognition, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm a proud Ghanaian. I'm really proud Ghanaian. I really love my country. I really think we are the best. Why shouldn't I think we are the best? So I said, we got to do something about this. Because I know musicians that I grew up with who have songs that you wouldn't believe.
Exactly.
They never have the opportunity to record them. Even if they recorded them, they will be cheated. So I said, okay, I'm going to really, really, really see how we do this. Well, you can't build a music industry without. Then I was concentrating on recordings because I'm a composer, right? So I said, Ghana needs a digital studio. So I told Mr. Kwachi, me and Mr. Kwachi, we had a long discussion. I said, I'm going to come and bring a studio. He says, very good, I should do it. He was the one who encouraged me, my boss, my big boss. I wish he's healthy and well. Yeah. I haven't spoken to him in a long time.
Salute, Mr. Kwachi.
Yes, that's the boss. That's one of the real industry leaders in Ghana.
His son is my good friend, Asanka.
Very good. Yeah. I remember when we used to take the little boy to school. Mr. Kwachi every day would come to me and then we would take the boy to school at Dansuma. Now he's a big man, you know. But the boss, he's one of the best human beings you ever meet in the world. Of course, yes. Mr. Kwachi, he's great. Very knowledgeable, very intelligent, very caring. Yeah. I came to America and in 3 months' time, I bought equipment for the studio. Okay. It was a very expensive studio. And the way I did it.
The studio wasn't just any ordinary studio because I saw the studio. Let's talk about the equipment you had in your studio because you had some, let me say, clone systems. You know, all your warmers, all those, they are not normal, regular processors that you can get on the market like that.
Yes, well, you see, this is the thing. Like I'm telling you, you've got to be somebody who's solution oriented. I knew that Ghana, my former head of state, just in my household, even my high school that I went, I've always in my life dealt with, you have to aspire to be excellent. You cannot cut corners. If you're going to do something, you do it well. That's what I was taught. I went to Shakan. My parents, my dad instilled in me, my ancestors. I mean, it's like Kwame Nkrumah, all the role models I had didn't want mediocrity. Exactly. You know? So anytime there's an issue, like I wanted to build a studio, I'm not a rich man. In terms of pecunia, which is cash in Latin, I'm not a rich man with money, but I'm a rich man with intelligence and ideas. So I was distributing for manufacturers and I wanted to build a studio. I studied some live music, sound reinforcement stuff then when I wanted to build it. So I studied a little bit of live, but I didn't know all the stuff about, and computers had come in and stuff. So the first thing I thought, I've got to get some education in this. Yeah. So I started learning. I'm telling you, within 3 months, I was a pro. And I wanted the best equipment because I wanted the best sound. I belong to this organization. I belong to two organizations. One was Repletech. It's a trade show thing. And then the other one was NAM, National Association of Music Merchants. Okay. And when I've been going to NAM over the years, because I've been representing those companies in sales. Okay. And so I meet the best sound designers. I meet the best sound engineers. I meet those who come up with concepts, those who come up with designs, and I become friends with them. You know, I mean, people who are doing cutting edge stuff. Yeah. You know, so, and I tell them, I'm from Ghana. I'm trying to do this. And they all support that if I'm trying to do that. So they're not going to give me things for free. Nobody gave me anything for free. But when I see the machine, in the business of sales, there's what they sell for beginners. There's what they sell for people who are doing hobbies. Yeah. There's what they sell for amateurs. That's what they sell for what we call prosumers. Mm-hmm. And that's what they sell for the professionals. Exactly. You can go to a store, you find machines sitting down there and you buy them. But if a real professional wants a machine, he doesn't buy them from the store. No. He calls the company, talks to the engineer and says, make this machine for me.
Like my Rocket limited edition.
You know? So I learned that early on.
Yeah.
So what was I going to do? I was going to make people make things for me. Sometimes they don't have to make it from scratch. They just have to put better circuitry, better connectors, better signal processors, better ICs and stuff in equipment, depending on which equipment. That's what I did. So you see the thing sitting down there is an Allen and Heath board, but it is not the same Allen and Heath board that you have. Because I talked to the factory and they bumped up the circuitry in the Allen and Heath board.
Okay.
You know? And I paid for it. But I was buying things at the distributor price, not at as a retailer. So I could afford them. You know?
Okay.
So I came to build. Do you know, let me tell you something about the studio in Ghana. I built this expensive studio and all those hits, including Rexoma, including Achiame, including Adani Best, including Lord Kenya, Roger Rockstone, all those hits were made in my studio.
Exactly.
Do you know I never recorded one song of mine in that studio?
Wow.
Now, why do you think I built that studio? I built that studio because I wanted the level of Ghana music to go up. When I came to Ghana that time and I saw what I was in Ghana, I was sad. What was his name? KK Kabobo had made the hit. Oh, my sweetheart, come near me. You know that song?
Yeah.
I went on tour with him. I held him out, go on tour. What was his name? Owusu, the singer. Felix Owusu.
Felix Owusu, yeah.
He was a singer with Sappers band, dance band then. And his band, Sappers, were the ones helping Kabobo do the shows. I went on tour with them for free with my sound effects, and I was supporting him do that. I encouraged Felix Owusu to do an album. I talked to him.
Wow.
This is before, yes. When I came, that's what I saw. So my thing was, let's up Ghana music. What we need is a good studio. We needed engineers because it was we were at a cuff. We're right there between analog and digital.
Campsite Studio gave birth to great musicians from Zab Marley to Mante, Tyron. There was a time Apietus was even working in there. A lot of great musicians. Reggie Rockstone recorded, I think, Maka. He mastered it in Campsite.
We used to see a plan B, plan A.
Plan B.
All of that was Campsite.
Exactly. Koko Dasibre Dramana.
Yes.
Lots of tapes. Lots of records.
Yes. So play the sound, that sound. Play Campsite music. Play the sound and compare it to now. You'll still be surprised.
Campsite was the first studio to bring a Caswell to Ghana as well.
Yes, but even apart from the Caswell and all of that kind of stuff, the sound, you see, back then, the bit mapping that was I'm going to be a little technical, the analog to digital conversion, because we're doing digital, but we're doing digital with analog.
Yeah.
That's how the Campsite sound was.
Yes.
It wasn't just straight a DAW.
No.
It was digital and analog with a 24. Yeah. You know, we had a 64 channel mixing board.
Yes.
The Allen and Heath.
And you were recording live.
It was live. It was fully automated. And so you could handle things. And we had the Atari Falcon with full automation.
Yeah.
But the sound was going through analog simulation, you know?
Yeah.
Before, it was only hitting digital when it went on the DAT machine, which was the master recorder.
Yeah.
But the digital to analog converter we were using in Campsite was not a 16-bit digital analog converter.
Okay.
I remember people coming to the studio laughing at me when I was trying to tell them the difference between 16 and the 20-bit that I had.
Okay.
And the 20-bit converter that I had, did they know how I got it? It was not out, the technology was not out on the market.
Exactly.
I was the beta tester for that machine. Now, beta testing is when they make a machine and they want people who are good to go try it and come and tell them what was what.
Exactly.
And my good friend, an engineer in San Francisco called Paul Tichner. You remember when I had all those computers, all those computers doing the effect processing?
Of course.
Paul Tichner gave me that 20-bit converter.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And so the sound that was coming out, there was no way.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to get to the studio sound. The studio sound was still better because it's analog. You can't beat analog.
Yeah.
But Campsite had something the studio sound couldn't have, which was we had the processing, you know,
Like
the effect processing.
Yeah.
Yes, and we had more. We had the headroom. The studio had the headroom too,
Exactly.
but it was just a different sound. And my idea of building that studio was to develop engineers. Yeah. And also to make studio recording affordable for Ghanaian musicians. I've been doing that ever since. The idea is this: if you don't understand the music business, you won't understand the importance of every musician having an opportunity to be able to put their music out. You know?
Yeah.
In any industry, there's what we call the farm system. In sports, there are academies, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the first division, the second division team, the third division team, before there's a Premier League team, right?
Yeah.
The same thing. Like now they have under 17, under 14, under 15. That you have to develop people. How are you going to develop people when they don't have equipment?
You can't.
How is a country, how is there going to be sustainability over a long period of
Farmers
time
with no
when there is no
cutlasses.
thinking? Yes, where there's no thinking behind progression. How right now, what is happening in Ghana's history in music? There's been serious truncations. There's been times where nothing is going on that is helping in growth and development.
Exactly.
You know, and so when I was doing Campsite, I was investing because I'm a long timer. I believe in medium and long term. I don't believe in short term fixes. You know,
exactly.
I was investing in the medium and the long term approach to music because I'm in America. I mean, I'm deep in the business in America, and I know how they're making it.
Yeah.
They're not making chicken feed.
No.
I mean, they're making serious money.
Yeah.
And who gets the money? At the end of the day, who gets the money? America gets the money.
True.
You see, people don't understand the way things work. You do business in Ghana, you help Ghana's bottom line. It doesn't matter because a third Ghanaian is somebody who's not going to be putting pressure on government or on the next Ghanaian.
Exactly.
You see? So if you think that way, if everybody was content and happy, we will have a beautiful country.
Exactly.
This is what people don't understand. And so this is my industry. I'm in two industries. I'm in the soccer industry and I'm in the music industry. This is my industry. And I've done a lot of research and I've got solutions. I do have solutions. It's been a long time coming up with solutions. I've been researching and I've been doing. And I've got solutions. Exactly. I'm hearing some talking going on. I know you're going to be asking me questions about what's going on right now.
So in 2010, there was this article. PM Music and Victor Tieku's Campsite Music announces West African Development Initiative. What was this about?
Oh my God. So still on the music recording industry business and content. Yeah. I don't know whether it's the luck of my grandmother or it's the luck of my grandfather from Akwapim or whatever. I just believe something, it always has to come from the ancestors, you know. Or maybe it's Mr. Mpakosa, or my great aunt, my aunt, Mrs. Apia, who she's still alive, who I love dearly, who also helped me on my music journey. So every time I say it's them, yeah, I ended up being in the right place at the right time. It's my soccer brought out the music. So I met this great man who I was coaching his son in soccer. And he used to be the chief financial officer of Vodafone World.
Okay.
Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah, of Vodafone
Chief
World.
Financial Officer of Vodafone World.
Yeah.
So all those Vodafone people in Ghana, listen to what I'm saying. This is serious connections, right?
Exactly.
I was coaching his son. The same way I coach Richard's grandson. Richard, who used to be the head of the Premier League in England.
Yeah.
You know, the chairman of the FA?
Yeah.
The former chairman of the FA, Richard, I used to coach his grandson here in America.
That's good.
Yes. also opened up some opportunities. I met his son David Richards. You know, so I met this wonderful man. He's called Bill Gojans, and I was teaching the kids soccer with music. I was using rhythm too, and he came to pick up his son, and he saw what I was doing, and he's a musician, he's a piano player, and he asked me, "Oh, this is interesting. He's never seen that before." Now, Bill was responsible for doing the deal that had, was it Arsenal? Remember one of those teams, Arsenal was used to wear Vodafone on the shirt? Before? Yes, Bill was part of the team that did that deal for Arsenal. So he knew, I mean, he loved soccer. That's why his son was very good. And I said, yes, I'm a musician. He says, what do you play? I said, and then the conversation, as you know, doesn't take long. It gets to the Fela part. He says, what? You're a Fela's musician? I say, yes. And then talking to him, he realized I was the answer for one of the things we were looking for. So I was introduced to Ralph Pierre. And I got this extensive training for over 2 years, learning about the angle of publishing. I knew about publishing, but I'd never studied it. And I'm not talking about studying it as a musician. I'm talking about studying it as an investor. The two different sides of the coin. As a business insider, as an investor. You know, so I studied publishing. When I studied publishing, I went, oh my God, this is one of the structures that is missing in the Ghana music industry. So
that was the Peer Music mission.
I became, it was my vision. Once Bill told me about the publishing, that became my vision. They wanted me to represent them. I said, no, I want to represent myself. And so I did this deal to become the co-publisher of the Peer catalog. Peer has over 1 million songs. And so I had to build my catalog, and they helped me out a lot. But what they gave me is they gave me education about the industry. And I'm talking about education.
Who are some of the artists on Peer catalog then?
Oh man, everybody is on there. Pierre has been running every Olympics and every World Cup. Beyonce is on there. Tricky, what is his name? Tricky Stewart, the producer. The guy who did all the Peter Cetera's music. You know, Chicago. You know, Hoagie Carmichael is on there. What do you call it? I mean, I can't tell you. I mean, it's a big catalog. So many. Celine Dion is on there. The songwriters. Rihanna is on there. What's her name? Mariah Carey. All that catalog. All that catalog. I controlled it in West Africa. But guess what? What's the use in controlling a catalog when the collection society doesn't work? When I got that deal, COSGA was our collection society in Ghana. 5 years before that, I tried to do a deal with COSGA about online. You know, I own buygoodmusic.com.
Exactly. We're going to come to that.
Okay. It's not on the web running yet because of some complications, but it's going to be online within 6 months. And Buy Good Music is a big one. That was another part of the solutions. I heard Stoneboy and so saying they need a serious online presence like TuneCore and iTunes and Amazon. I had that before TuneCore was even thought about. I had that before Bezos formed Amazon. I had that before. I mean, I had Buy Good Music. I was ahead of the curve. But the publishing part is very important because, you see, music is made not just by performing it live or by selling albums. Music is made because the songs you write, and the song is only the melody and the lyric of the melody, right? Of the lyrics and the melody of the lyrics. can also be, we use the word exploited, and exploited is not a bad word. It doesn't mean you're cheating anybody.
No,
I mean, exploited means
to exploit
yes. But when you say exploited, sometimes some people think, oh, what is he talking about? They think negativity. But in publishing, in music publishing, music,
you have to exploit the artists.
Yeah, we got to exploit. You got to mine it. You know, you got to do everything you can do to get the value out of it. Yes, so the song can be exploited, and publishing is a very big part of it. Publishing is actually what created all the stuff, because the first publishers were people who used pen and drew the 5 lines, the treble clef and bass clef, and they wrote the songs, and they had it in sheets, and they used to sell the music that way. Before magnetic media came, things were published on paper. Yes, it was all print.
The score of the music.
Yes, the scoring. We're printing the music and all, and the lyrics were sold. You can still see lyrics being sold in books and stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's part of publishing.
Okay.
So I did that deal, and my philanthropic and benevolent attitude that I had, I thought I should come and share it in Ghana.
Okay.
I came. And I'll talk about that later. I don't think I should go into that because you asked a specific question. I tend to dribble when you ask these questions. It's like we're back at DC, sitting under the tree over there, and then just having our conversation, right?
No, but we are heading straight there, because now we are in the third segment where we are going to talk about copyright, because I know you have a lot of forward in this copywriting, and in the past. For the past 1 month, 2 months, copyright has been a hot issue down in Ghana. And I know you have a lot to do with what is going on when it comes to the history of Kosga, Gamro, and all them things. So we are heading there. You know, that is.
You see, Rodney, this is the thing. I'm a Ghanaian. And I love being a Ghanaian, and I'm a chief.
Yeah.
And in our culture, showing each other up is actually not cool, to use an American term to describe an African situation.
Exactly.
You know, which means we protect our honor.
Yeah.
That's what I grew up in. We protect each other's honor. When you step beyond a certain level, it's not acceptable. But you see, I've studied this industry for so long, and I mean study with my time and my money.
Exactly.
I've set up businesses just because I want to learn, and people don't get it. How come you're not doing it? But I'm just learning.
Yeah.
So what is all that learning for? All that learning I was doing, I knew my strategic plan was used to bring it to bear. I know I'm not the only one. I always tell this about Ghana. Ghana is a very unique country. Ghana is a country of intelligent people.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just we've not been unleashed. If Ghanaian intelligence was unleashed, it's been unleashed in other parts of the world, and people get a lot of advantages from it. There's nowhere in the corner of the world, nothing great going on anywhere in the corner of the world that you won't hear there's a Ghanaian involved somewhere in some corner.
Yes.
And you'll be wondering, how come these people don't come home and do this? People say that all the time.
Exactly.
Well, people don't come home and do stuff because of what I'm going to be talking about.
Exactly. Daddy, we've been talking for over an hour. We need a break.
I can talk for 2 days.
I want you to give me, we've been talking about the music. I know my fans will be like, Rodney, let him give us some music. We want to hear the music. So.
Oh well. You know what? Let's put the music on the side and let's talk about this first, because I think you know what, our country is bleeding.
Exactly.
And it's not bleeding from a little scrape of some fern or some little scrape of some little thorn whilst walking down the little path to the riverside to get some water to drink. That's not the kind of bleeding my country is bleeding.
True.
Our country is bleeding from stab wounds.
True.
From machete cuts. From bullets. Our country is bleeding. I belong to the music industry. So let me talk about the music industry. The music industry is bleeding. I once heard a very notable person, and that is Rex Omar, who's the chairman of the board of directors of Gamro now, say there is no industry in Ghana. How can you say that? Just 3 or 4 days ago, I heard Marco Kreku, the Honorable, and Mark and I were friends. I respect him, and I respect Rex Omar. I'll defend him anytime. I heard Marco Kreku say during the Charterhouse that the industry is good and we're going to make it better. Now listen to both statements. There is no industry. The industry is good. We're going to make it better. This is what Victor Tieku says. There is an industry, but it's dysfunctional. And the industry stinks. That's what Victor Tieku says. Quote me. And I can tell them why the industry stinks. But I'm not just one of those who come and complain. I've got solutions. I can't even believe, Rodney, that they assembled all those people funded by Vodafone, funded by Charterhouse. And I always say, because I live in America, right?
Yeah.
Follow the money. Follow the money. Anytime you hear people hobnob, people corralling, circling horses, sitting down talking, there's the surface, there's the middle belt, and there are the undercurrents. What was that all about? Looking for solutions from where? From those who came there. What were the discussions about? Were they talking to arrive at solutions? If there were solutions within an industry, hasn't anybody come out to say this is a solution? And why is it that if there are solutions, those people have not come out to say this is a solution? I heard a young man who was on the tape, who is into software design, software authorship, saying he needs data from Gumroad to provide them with logging technology. Yeah. And I heard Roxamar say very loud, we told you, you came to the office, we asked you to bring your technology. What is that supposed to mean? Bring your technology. That's English language, that's gibberish. What does bring your technology mean? Somebody who's a professional is working on technology, has technology. You, a board of directors of a CMO, need that technology. It is a B2B negotiation.
Exactly.
And I heard the moderator say, oh, so it's going to go around, this one says this. No, it's not going to go around, this one says. There are business norms. Exactly. The guy has the technology, you need the technology, it's a business deal. Exactly. Why are you asking for the technology for? I can tell you why they're asking for the technology for, and I'm not going to indict anybody, but this is what I said. The country is bleeding. Enough is enough of the mediocrity, and enough is enough about the circling, and enough is enough about the lying, and enough is enough about the dysfunction and ineptness. People don't know what the hell they're doing. That is what is going on in Ghana, Mr. Music industry.
You know all about these PROs, and especially when it comes to Gumroad. You were in
You mean
there.
The CMOs? Yes.
What was the deal? What's gone wrong? What do you think?
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. The CMO called Gumroad, and I wish you could have Carlos Sechi on your thing. I wish we could get Carlos on this thing. The whole country, Ghana, don't know how Gumroad came to be. Exactly. They will tell you they formed AMRO, they did this, they did that, they did that, they did that. Yes, they did form AMRO. I went to speak at AMRO at Amachi Dede Sport. Anytime I came to Ghana, I went to support them and give them encouragement. But whilst I was doing that, when I come back to the States, I did the real work, doing the real research about it. Because I was a young man when I was dealing with Kosga in Ghana, and I came abroad. I was doing musical distributions, I was doing studio engineering, I was doing this, I was doing that, you know, concentrating on my music too. So I went to school to learn about it. I studied it. I didn't mean I went to sit in some four walls. I studied it. So when I came back to Ghana, I remember, and Kodjentri can attest to this, and those who were there that day, we had a meeting. The next day I had to fly to America. I told them, I'm going to America and I'm going to come with a solution. And Rodney, anybody can argue with me about this. They should bring it. I'll open the book for them. I brought the solution. Kosga to Gumroad, wouldn't have happened if I didn't done what I did. If I didn't do what I did, Kosga to Gamro would not have happened. And I hope this question can be asked to Betty Mould, because she knows what happened in the last end of it. Because you see, there are ways to get things done. When you're going to get things done, you got to go up in power, up in authority. You got to do a presentation that circumvents and cuts things around you down. If you don't do that, it doesn't work. There's a way to solve every problem on this planet. It's how you work with stakeholders.
So, Daddy, do you think
everybody
Rex Omar is the right man for the job?
Do I think Rex Omar is the right person for the job? What is a corporation going to do? If a corporation, you see, when we're talking about what we call efficiency, results, when we're talking about efficiency and results, there's a way you look at it. You look at it practically. You don't look at it emotionally.
Yeah.
You see, how did Rex Omar get that job? Rex Omar got that job because Ghanaians voted for him. Ghanaian right owners voted for him. Why did they vote for him? They voted for him because he presented them with hope in his campaigning. In his campaigning, he presented hope. He spoke about things that they believed that would be the answer to their problems. That's how everybody who was on that board got on the board. Right?
Yeah.
And that's how he won the election. So he won the election, so he's there, and they decided he's going to be the chairman of the group. Before, it wasn't like that. I tried to be the chairman of that group. You know what happened?
No.
They pulled the carpet from under my feet. They misplaced my catalog. Intentionally. I'll tell you this. And we'll talk about that. But I'm not going to indict Rex Omar as whether he's fit or not fit. As long as you look at it, he was deemed fit by the voter. And he's there. So if you ask me, and I'm going to answer you this question logically, the answer to whether Rex Omar is fit or not fit is in results.
So
how many years has Rex Omar? Yes, let me finish. How many years has Rex Omar been on the board?
Almost.
Rex Omar was part of Carlos Sechi's board.
Yeah. Almost 6 to 8
and Rex Omar
years.
Was
now they are supposed to be
more than 6 years. More than 6 years. Wait, Rex Omar was with Carlos Sechi's board for 4 years.
Yeah.
And then Rex Omar was with the last board before he became chairman. He was on that board too. That board with Obuo and Mr. Simons and Zap Mallet and those guys.
Yeah.
Rex Omar was on that board.
Yeah.
And then Rex Omar became on this board with Bandex and Co. That he's the chairman of that board. So Rex Omar has been in Gamro ever since Gamro, has been on the Gamro board ever since the Gamro changed from Kosga.
Okay.
People don't realize that. Rex Omar has been on that board ever since.
All right.
There was a short period of time when the court said those people couldn't be. I think he resigned or something,
exactly.
And then he came. There's probably like a year or some months. Okay,
yeah.
But Rex Omar has been on the board. So this is how I look at it. And if he's sitting here, I'll tell him directly, Rex, I hear the same things going over and over and over again. We can't collect. Abraham says the same thing. Now, we can't collect. Rex Omar is a board member. Abraham is the CEO. How did Abraham become the CEO? How did Carlos Sechi's tenure leave? What was all that confusion? All that confusion that was going on there, all that dysfunction that went on there was uncalled for. Because you didn't replace bad with good. Because the results, the end product is still the same. And this is my challenge to Ghanaian musicians, Ghanaian rights holders, Ghanaians who belong to Gamro. You've got to wake up, sit up, and stop being naive, because you are choosing what you get. It's just that simple. You can't vote for somebody to come and be your leader and then complain that that person is not, okay, I can understand their faction, there's the polarity law, right? But the point is, ever since Kosga became Gamro, The same faces.
Never
I've
changed.
been working in those circles, and the end result has been the same. I understand the difficulty in Ghana in getting things done, but there's another way of getting things done in Ghana. There's a way things work. And when I say I've got the solutions, they go, oh, Ampa, why is that you? Because there's a conflict of interest situation in Ghana. Exactly. Anytime you come, like that software engineer was doing, most people didn't get it. Anytime you come and you've got a solution, they tell you bring it. Exactly. For what? Who are you that I should bring my solution to you?
Exactly.
You've not been able to do the job. Excuses out. If you are in corporate America, you are in corporate Ghana, you are in corporate Nigeria, you're in corporate China, you are in corporate Germany, you are in corporate anywhere. If a CEO, if the numbers come and the numbers are the same, we've got to change. We've got to try something else.
Yeah.
You know, I asked this question today. I knew my late brother was the one who registered my music with Gamru, with Kosga. And Abraham was the one in charge of documents and registration and stuff like that over there. And when I came and I was trying to, for that election to get on the board to try and see what, because I've been trying to come and help.
Yeah.
I spoke to Abraham. Abraham told me, oh, I didn't register. They couldn't find my file. And I registered my song in 1995. It was played on radio. Akwesi Abuaji told me he loves my song. They played my song on radio all those years. He was telling me they couldn't find my file. So I'm not a member. So I couldn't stand for the election. Abraham, how does Abraham, and I know he studied after that, but you see, to become a CEO of anything, without being an intern CEO or somewhere, or without you having spent your money to meet a payroll, or to deal with issues with human resources, to deal with budgets, to deal with profits and losses, to deal with the communication department, to deal with answering questions. I listened to Abraham talk on that show. He called Ghanaian music listeners satanic. No, it's not acceptable.
It's not.
No, that is not the way. Even if you have that emotion, that is not the way to describe it. Because it is not about that. Where in the world haven't people tried to get music for free? We had Napster in America. Napster was well funded. People in America were trying to cut down the record industry, the music industry. Is the music industry not working? It is working. You can't say when the people in the country don't have the will to support music, don't want to use music for free. He used some English, some descriptive analysis over there, where in a country where people don't respect rights owners or don't respect, everybody has the propensity to take things for free. That is not it. The job is for you to collect. He says it very clearly, Daddy, but he's not right about a lot of things.
Let's listen to this from their summit.
What's been the biggest challenge in enforcing these laws?
Thank you very much.
Increase the volume a little bit. I can't hear you very well.
It's not.
Volume, right?
Yes.
Okay.
In my opinion, it's a great start. The biggest problem we have is not that the law itself doesn't exist. There might be some need for amendment to the law to take account of how we're able to enforce it. But the main problem we have is how do we enforce that law? There are mechanisms already enshrined in it. There are the mechanisms that we need to probably amend them.
You know, I know. I'm sorry for interrupting you. I know the lawyer lady there made had a couple of factual statements.
Yeah.
The laws are in place already. And it's about enforcing the laws. Or maybe amending some part of the laws to take care of this. You see, there are different aspects of there are different laws that can be used to achieve what it is. Like we're saying, collecting money. Okay, collecting money from what? Hotels. Collecting monies from hotels, from pubs and stuff is different from collecting monies from radio stations and TVs.
Yeah.
It's different. Okay, so it's not a one law fit all. And it's not even about how you enforce it. It's how you approach.
So basically, synchronization rights and performance right.
No. Yes, I mean that's what it is. But you see, if you want to collect money from some sales, like the music stores, right, or like a club that plays a sport that sells alcohol that you've given a license to, and you got to collect money from them, right?
That is a performance right.
That's a performance right. You gave the license. When you are given the license, what was it? What were the conditions before they got the license? And when you give licenses and they're supposed to pay at this period or that period, if they don't pay, what's that law? What's that law that enforces them to pay? It's a simple law. You came for a license and you're supposed to pay your bill from the license.
Yeah.
That law should be easily enforced. If they can't enforce it right now, it means they don't know how to think about it. Okay? Like the radio stations, we're saying the radio stations should log music. The radio stations, they claim, are not paying. I've heard some people say the radio stations are paying. I'm not going to say yes or no, they are lying or not. I'm not glad to be indicting anybody to say, hey, you're telling a lie. No. Let's assume two things. The radio stations are not paying. Why are they not paying? Do the radio stations have a license? Do they have a legal obligation to pay such amount of money if this then? Or they don't? If they don't, we have a problem. If they do, we have a different problem.
But universally, Daddy, radio stations using people's material, they have to pay.
Yes, we are not talking about the have to. We are talking about they don't. This is what they are saying. They don't pay. That means you go to collect a bill. You go to collect a bill from somebody and he doesn't want to pay for the bill. That's what they're saying. And they are taking them to court. But the point is, you don't know what the bill is.
So how do you take the bill?
Exactly. That's why this guy has that software that they can use to track what the bill is. And then you are sitting down saying, bring the software. Are you trying to collect? I don't think you're trying to collect.
And you cannot do it. You need a specialist office for that.
Exactly. But the point is this. The point is this. They claim Gamro doesn't have money. Gamro doesn't have money. So it is not a chicken and an egg situation. Gamro doesn't have money. Somebody has a software. If you get the software in place, you can tell whether TV3 played your music this much or didn't play your music this much. So you can then know what bill to take to the guy at TV3, right?
Yeah.
There are laws in Ghana when somebody owes you money, how you collect your money.
Exactly.
If you don't know how much he owes you, how are you going to collect it?
Exactly.
This guy has got solutions with the software, and you are saying bring the software. What do you need that brings some software for? Who needs who? You are now standing there raising up your hand to the whole of society that we don't have money. You are the one who's making you not have money.
True.
See, and this is why I'm like perplexed. How can the moderator stand and say it is going around and coming around? No. Gamro, you need help. Help doesn't come only by cash. It comes by people, this is a Ghanaian. They said he said it there, and I don't know whether he's lying or not, but I tend to want to believe it because I've dealt with some of this stuff. You cannot be sitting in this powerful position. I can tell you what is going on with that kind of power play. I know why that power play is coming from. I know where it's coming from. I know why that power play. You need to keep doing it and collecting money. The musicians, the artists, the songwriters, they need to have their income. Yeah. So excuses should be out of the window. True. Excuses should be out of the window. I'm sorry. So if you ask me whether Israel Somali the right person for the job, I'll tell you this. If I'm sitting down there in an interview and I go, why did you choose this option? Why did you choose not to expedite the software? Why didn't you make it a priority that we got to get this in place? Because you need to know how much the radio stations owe you.
Exactly.
For the radio stations to know that you know how much they owe you. You can't just go to the radio station and say, pay. Pay what?
Of course, you have to bring a proof.
You can't even track what they're doing. And then you're saying they don't pay. And you guys are not willing to do deals with people who can help you track the thing. Now you're looking to get $4 million from America to get a software. $4 million for what?
No.
Because of that, the elections has been postponed. Because of that, you are trying to still be on the board because of the formula. He was asked a question and he says, why is it that you've not signed that document? He says, because right now, I'm not the director of, we don't know what's happening. So is it about Gamma or is it about Rexoma? Is it about Ghana or is it about Rexoma? You see, there are conflict of interest. There's a lot of stuff going on there that really needs to be looked at. And I can tell you, I can stop ranting and raving and I can lay it down to you. It's a dysfunction. There are square pegs in round holes. There are people who don't understand the way things work. Because I just gave you the example. Solution, need, solution. This is the satiation of the need. You are trying to run the need. You are trying to control who's coming to give you need. It's like a beggar having choices.
Exactly.
You know? And then you tell the people who you are supposed to be working for that there's no money. The money is supposed to be coming from the radio stations and the TV stations and the places. And the solutions to get the money from them, you are not hurrying up to get it done.
Daddy, so what is this? What is your thoughts about the other school of thought of a competitor, PRO, in the Ghana music industry?
No, I've done that research extensively. And I'm sorry, I know I have a lot of people, friends and stuff who are thinking, You don't solve a problem by sidestepping it. You don't solve a problem by sidestepping it. We have, if it is true, I didn't answer the second question. If it is true that the radio station and TV stations are not paying, that means they are stealing music.
Exactly.
That is even a more serious problem. You see, I don't know whether it's true or not, but if it is true, I will personally tell them, and no matter what they think they are and all that, I'll tell them. If it is true that they are stealing music of rights owners, because we don't know that. But I came to Ghana in 2012 or 2013. I went to a Kwesi Agbaji show, and I told them, I can track it.
Yeah.
We can empower a lot of musicians to track every radio station any day. Without that, even the software, it's easy. If we track it and you are playing music and we bring you a bill and you can't pay for that music, they shouldn't think they are those who help the politicians do their adverts and and they are inside the in club, so they are all that powerful. They're not. When you owe money, you owe money. A thief who steals a penny is a thief like a thief who steals $1 million. Okay? So the musicians are suffering in Ghana and everybody sees it. It's a shame that artists are begging. When the pandemic happened, the whole world was in trouble. In Ghana, which industry had people coming to TV asking people to give them money to give to their old musicians? Wasn't that a shame? Huh? Wasn't that a shame?
Yeah.
Even children in orphanages, even pregnant mothers, even retired fishermen, they are very sad people. Even they didn't come on national television soliciting for money. Musicians who are supposed to be making a lot of money, this is not a poor industry. They came begging for money. That is a shame. And if it is true, I don't know it is true. I don't know, because I've not been in the hole. If it is true that the radio stations and TV stations are not paying those people, are not paying the collecting society, it's a shame. I'm more interested in the whole industry. Because you see, Gamro and Musicians Union, that's not the industry. That's only 2 parts of an industry. That has over 12 parts. And it is like, I heard them throwing the buzzword around. For the first time, I heard people saying ecosystem, the music ecosystem. Well, how many of them have worked in all those ecosystems or in majority of the ecosystems? You are not part of the solution if you are just one person who has worked in one side. And because the ecosystem means the interconnectivity. And you have to have knowledge by it affecting your skin. That means you've spent money and time in it to know to have the knowledge to be able to sit at the table and talk about the solutions. Because if we don't get the interconnectivity working together, we will not solve this problem. I can't believe people came to have that meeting. They're sitting down saying, we are looking for solutions. Doesn't the industry have some close conversations in certain places? We don't. You know why? So the moment you come up with the idea, they're going to take it and make it their own.
Exactly.
This is the problem. This is why I'm not in the mix. And they're also afraid of people like me. They don't want us to talk. So they like to sideline you.
Now, did you think another part of the problem is they bring in some immature music administrators to administrate our musical things?
If the industry was correct, if you bring an immature administrator, you mean in the main structures?
Exactly. In
the main structures are led by chosen. The leadership of the main structures are chosen through elections. So it means that those who are the voters are those who are underinformed. Those are the misinformed people. They don't know how to choose who the right person is. Part of it is because a lot of the right people too have not been talking.
Exactly.
You see, and that goes back to the press, because the press, see, we are between a rock and a hard place. The press is how we get the word out. If it is true that the press is hijacking the industry, because if the industry is good, the press will have to be paying up, then the press is not going to be helping the industry get to where it's supposed to get, because people get the information through the press, right?
Yeah.
And so, but we have social media now. I don't want to say the press is doing this, the press is doing that, because listen, if the industry is fixed, the press will make more money than they make now.
But the press seems not to allow the creative people to prepare their art.
Because the presentation of the business model, you see, the business model is destroyed. So like they don't see how it's going to work. It's synonymous with the situation in Ghana. If you the confidence of a Ghanaian of him surviving day to day is the same. If the industry is fixed, it's not if it's fixed, it's when it's fixed, because we're going to fix this thing.
Yeah.
When the industry is fixed, the press is going to make money. They're going to make money. You're going to say how? How do you know? How is the press making money in England? How is the press making money in America? How is the press making money in Germany? How is the press making money in Holland? How is the press making money in South Africa? How is the press making money in Togo?
Exactly.
Togo. How is the press making money in Ivory Coast? The press makes money because the industry is fixed. Everybody gets their share. But if the industry is not fixed, some people are making money whilst others are suffering. But in the end, this is what I want to tell politicians. You see, Ghana suffers. People don't realize the kind of jobs that can be generated with a functioning music industry. The government, the parties that are running the country, if the industry runs, there will be a lot of jobs created. The industry has a lot of, not just from musicians, the music industry has a lot of things that it supports.
Exactly.
The music industry supports a lot of industries. And because the music industry is not working right, it is not happening. And then the other point I want to say is about the creative arts stuff.
Yeah.
Now, fair, that's creative arts. Creative arts is not the music industry.
Okay.
There are elements of the music industry that's not part of creative arts.
Okay.
Funding. On top of the industry sits the song. That's the creative part.
Okay.
The musicians, the people with the talent to write the songs are creative.
The songwriters.
The roadies who are carrying the instruments, who are at the bottom of the industry, they are not in the creative arts. They are involved in the creative arts industry, but the creative arts stuff and the funding and all that helps that goes for the creative people. How do they get their own? The sound engineers, the event management people, the promoters, the booking agents, they are not in creative. We need to fix the music industry. We need to fix the music industry. And I'm not saying we need to fix it like I'm saying somebody else needs to fix the music industry. We have solutions.
So we go back to that same question on the summit. What is that one decision you think we can do that change with, Mr. Tieku, right now? What is that one decision that we
ask that question
take?
Again? Well, ask the question again. The line was breaking up.
I'm saying it all boils back to the question on the summit stage.
Which question?
One decision is it there for the music industry to take for the whole GAMRO and the CMO or the PRO to be seen working? What is that one move?
The one decision that is to be taken for the industry to be seen working is for the real people who know how to do stuff to be allowed to do it.
Okay.
Because you see, it's just so sad when I sit here and I listen to all this kind of stuff. This is not rocket science. This is not rocket science. And even if you don't know how, all the countries around you are doing it right. And you are sitting down saying you don't know how to do it. And so the Ghanaian is a different human being than other citizens of this planet. No, it just drowns me. It floors me that
Exactly.
that you'll say so the CMO is about collecting and sharing.
Yeah.
And Ghanaians don't want to pay. Ghanaians have gotten to satanic levels, so they don't want to pay. You don't know how to collect money. You don't know how to present the way to collect money. I'm intentionally not talking about specifics because you know what? If Ghanaian songwriters are going to keep on still voting for those who are going to be dysfunctional and doing it, I'll keep my 400 songs I've written in my bag. My children will come and record it. Because someday, somebody will make this thing work.
Of course.
You know? Because it's a shame. You know how many great musicians can bring value to that country who have songs sitting in their rooms?
True.
There's the whole other element about the live scene, which is also, we also have a lot of dysfunction, which is because there's an industry in Ghana which is making the music industry not work. And I'm not going to talk about it right now because I want to negotiate with those guys first. And they've got to understand it. But government has to step up. Government, I don't blame government a lot because government itself is made up of just Ghanaians like us. And some of them don't know. They don't know this industry. It's not their fault that they don't know. They studied the stuff that they studied and they became who they became and they got elected, right? Yeah. It is a functioning industry would have forums that would be interacting with politicians, the decision makers, the policy makers, the press, all of that. We don't have all of that. Why don't we have all of that? Because we are not selecting the right people to be leading the industry.
Yeah.
You know?
Daddy.
And very soon we are going to be old enough and we're going to pass. And this thing is going to last again for another 50 years. Exactly. This is very bad for Ghana.
While we are documenting all the knowledge. But you have a single that I want us to talk about. I want us to have a musical interlude just for a minute.
It's not released yet, oh. It's not released yet. So don't let people be taking it for free. It's not released yet.
Yes.
You see, when this is the other problem. This is the other problem. Ghanaians think the musicians that they hear on the airwaves playing, they are all that. A lot of the musicians that they hear on the airwaves playing, we help them be able to record those music.
Exactly.
The songs they put out there, we created the infrastructure to record that music. Some of us are better songwriters.
Exactly.
Better musicians.
Exactly.
And I'm not lying. It looks like I'm ranting and raving, but I have to. Because we are bleeding from cuts.
Daddy, this tune.
No, not yet. Not yet, Rodney. Not yet. Save it. It's coming. Save it.
Okay, Daddy. Then give me an acoustic performance. We need a musical.
Oh, I have my guitar here. I always have my guitar. I mean, my car just came from the studio, but I have my guitar.
Daddy,
but I don't know. I mean, my car is a little clamped up. But hey, once a guitarist, always a guitarist. Maybe there are some better guitarists in Ghana now. That's why we are the old people. Oh no! I'll just play some small thing. Not a big deal. Now, you see, you Ghanaians. That's enough. It's not comfortable in my car. It's not comfortable, Rodney. You always put me on the spot like this. I remember you did that with me and Samini. An ocean that one race is superior than the other. That is so false. Using guns, you suppressed every other. And that is so wrong. You can't keep pretending you don't know what's right and wrong. This has gone on for too long. You've created this negative ideology, and the world needs an apology. And teach your children today. Today and every day. Teach them love, don't teach them hate. And don't teach them to discriminate. Teach your children today. Today and every day. Teach them love, don't teach them hate. Don't teach them to discriminate, no. To the bridge. Oh, you all know, together we will be better than all. You and I together, working side by side. The world will be a wonderful place. Teach the children today. Oh, teach your children today. Today and every day. Teach them love, don't teach them hate. And don't teach them to discriminate. Look, the guitar, look, I'm holding the guitar in a car like this. You guys, look at how the guitar is. This is not good, Rodney. You did this to me, and I don't even have a pick.
Into Jim Hendrix. Oh, I'm
Oh
listening
no!
to
This is
a Ghanaian
Victor
artist.
Tieku. This is Victor Tieku. This is not this is a Ghanaian artist. I'm a Ghanaian, 100%.
Wow.
Charlie, look, there are musicians in Ghana. There are musicians from Ghana, incredible musicians.
Great.
You know,
Musician.
I mean, Jesus Christ. People have no idea the stuff that's out there. And all those musicians, they're supposed to make our people in our country happy by listening to good music. We're stuck with what we have now because it's dysfunctional. All the good musicians don't want to release music because what are they going to get from it?
Mr. Tieku, from your own observations, who would you say is the best band you've ever worked with in Ghana, or the best recording artist you've ever worked with in Ghana?
That I have worked with, exactly. The best band I have worked,
yeah,
or the best recording artist.
No,
hey Rodney,
the one you have worked with on your catalog.
I have worked with or I have seen.
You've worked with on your catalog. You have a lot of songs on your catalog.
Oh yeah, I have a lot of songs. I've recorded a lot of artists. I mean, I've got about 45 artists on my catalog right now, and I stopped it to come back to the States, because I tried to do this PM music thing with this catalog and all that potential money, and these guys just messed up the business. They don't get it, you know. But I mean, one person I really love who passed away that I worked with, Ralph Karikari. May Ralph rest in peace. Ralph, excellent musician. The country knows him as a bass player, but he's a very good guitar player.
I have been in a section with Ralph Kakari myself.
Yes.
At Slim, when I used to work as attachment with Slim Basta, he used to play all the solos in Slim Basta's songs. Slim used to fly him from Kumasi. He comes to Accra, sleeps in Golden Tulip, you know, Ralph Kakari. May he rest in peace.
Yeah, but I've got to talk about my teacher too. You know, see, I have a teacher. I had a teacher in Cape Coast. My friend is one of the greatest guitar players in Ghana. Even though he's so modest, he doesn't think he is. But every time I have to give some love and praise to Eric Bobo, Eric Seneya, who's also known as Eric Bobo. He was the lead guitarist for the classic Vybz and classic handles.
Wow.
And I mean, the kind of songs that guy has, that nobody in Ghana even knows that Eric Bobo has got songs.
Wow.
And I know he's got songs. These are educated musicians, you know. And then there's Carl Randolph, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the keyboard player for Tata Pilsners. You know, we've set up this organization called the UMC. It's the United Musicians Collective. We are duly registered organization in Ghana. The mission of this organization is to help fix the industry. Help fix the industry. GAMRO is just one element of one structure in the industry. So is Musicians Union. You know, it's not compulsory for everybody to be a member of Musicians Union. But it is compulsory for every Ghanaian to contribute to the national bottom line. What my approach to fixing the industry is really not trying to get money from government. That is not the solution. All the time they say we need funding. We are in the music industry. The music industry can generate its own funding easily. People don't want to pay. People are listening to music and they don't want to pay. It is not true. I don't believe that. You know, I don't believe that. I personally don't believe that people don't want to pay to listen to music. If you package it well, if you design it well, you are going to get money from what you do. You know, and there's a lot more that needs to be talked about because it's about systems, it's about ways of thinking, it's about partnerships. It's partnerships in high places. It's not partnerships where we just put tables and ask the same old people the same old questions that they've never been able to answer for 10, 12 years. And you're asking them the same questions. You're asking the same people who've been running COSGA for all these years, what are the solutions? They've not gotten solutions. No, I don't think the same. He's just speaking English language. What does he mean by is not easy? Not easy means what? Not easy means you don't work, or not easy means anybody who's walking down the street cannot do it. You are not walking down the street. You are working for Gamro. You said you could work for Gamro. When before you took the job, you made people think that you could solve a problem. The problem was there before you took the job. And you took the job with a narrative that you are the solution to the problem. And now you take the job and you're repeating the same problem that the other people who were there were saying. When Kalosechi was taken out, what was Kalosechi taken out for? Who funded Kalosechi's expulsion? It went to court. Somebody had to pay the fees. Who paid the fees? I want to know. I need an investigation into who paid the fees for Kalosechi for his board to be eliminated. There's been a lot of backbiting and inside stuff, but to me, the value is still the same. They say this, they say that, they come, they don't do anything because they really don't know how to make things work. They don't really know this industry. They don't know how to get things done because they've never held a payroll before. They've not had to say, hey, today is the 15th, I've got to pay my employees. If you've done that before, you know how to make things work. You know how to make the money come in. You do what you have to do. A lot of the rights owners right with their claims. A lot of rights owners have songs that are not even being played on radio. But there's a section that pays for the bulk, and there's a section that has to pay for those who are making it. Now they have the system in Gamro, the first tier, the first group, the second group. How do they have the data to grade that? Just because of fame? This is not what it is. Gamro is the National Collection Society. It has a license from the Attorney General. We did a lot. I spent $42,000 on this thing. Yeah, it is a private company. That I spent $42,000 in it. And I've not told that story yet. I did spend $42,000 in it. Now, well, I went to AMRO, one of their meetings, and I told them I'll come to America and I'll bring the solution. Because then we're trying to get the Attorney General to give Gamro a license. Then they didn't have a name. It was AMRO then. They were negotiating. I'd left. I came to America. I was in constant contact with Kalosechi. So I thought about it. I said, if I don't do something, it's not going to work. So I talked to my people here, and they connected me with PRS in England, because Ghana is an ex-British colony, right? And the way the collection society thing works, a collection society has to be linked to the whole world's collection societies, because it's an interconnectivity thing. You collect, they collect, you collect, you exchange stuff, right? So they hooked me up with PRS. I started talking to PRS. PRS wanted information, data, my phone calls. I couldn't go to work. I have to do this, I have to do that. All that time I spent dealing with them. I realized PRS was not the right fit for us because I didn't like the approach. And what I got out of it was they wanted our catalog, which was whatever. Then I didn't know the name was going to be Gamro. They wanted our catalog to be under their catalog. Basically, we're going to be like another colonial. We're going to be under servitude. It's just going to be like the colonial, the British system, where we are under the Commonwealth. Well, I don't know the insights. I'm not in the inner workings of what Alliance are trying to do. I've spoken to Darlington, but I don't know what they're trying to do. But if that's what they're trying to do, if what you're saying is what it is, that system is not what I'm going to support, because no matter what, we've got to have a sovereignty that our ancestors died for. We cannot be under servitude no matter shape or form, no neo-colonialism, no alliance that we don't control the persons. We don't decide what we do, how we do, and what. We are intelligent, we are smart people. We need our sovereignty in any business dealing. That's what I fight for. It is universal, yes, but no, see, this is the thing. The universal part has nothing to do with administration. Whoever collects the purses decides what the expenses are, decides how many people are employed, decides who gets what salary. And we are going to do that for ourselves in our country. Okay. Nobody is going to decide what the administration expenses and all that stuff is, and then tell us this is what they bring to us. No. My parents, my grandparents, my ancestors, my extended family, your extended family, everybody's extended family suffered for Ghana. And we got to keep our sovereignty no matter what. If we have to die, that's what we do. Because that's why I went to SASEC. Or SESAC, or what you call it?
SESAC. From
I went to SESAC. No, SESAC, France.
France, okay.
So my people connected me to the PM Music office in France, and our representative there is called Bruno. So Bruno is a member of the board of directors of SESAC.
Okay.
And I went to SESAC with my own money, stayed in a hotel with my own money. And I was working for who? I was working for Ghana, a CMO to be that didn't have a name, that nobody even knew I was doing what I was doing.
Exactly.
Before I went to SESAC, I went to Washington, D.C. I had a presentation at the Library of Congress. Me, by myself, for Ghana. Nobody paid me. Nobody sent me. Nobody knew I was even doing this. And this information is the first time I'm putting it out on the media.
Exactly.
Okay? I spent money. Hotel rooms in Washington, D.C. is not easy. Hotel rooms in Paris is not easy. So I had a meeting with the undersecretary of Obama that was called Hernandez.
Okay.
Told him about our situation in Ghana. They had the same situation because I pitched the bootlegging thing. Then there was the bootlegging and all that stuff included. Paris. They had the same situation. They were talking about China and all that kind of stuff. And he was going to help us. Okay, so I flew to Paris and I met the board. The board had to be convened for me. Bruno pulled the strings. I met with them twice. And then Robert Hougier, remember this name? Robert Hougier's name came up. Robert Hougier was the one in charge of SESAC in South Africa.
Okay.
I had conversations with him, and we agreed that he was going to help because he knew Betty Mould. He had dealt with Betty Mould before in all this stuff when Betty Mould was the head of Copyright Society. Betty Mould used to be the head of copyright. Yes. So me and him arranged, we kept in touch. I flew to Ghana after that meeting. I flew back to America. I didn't tell anybody in Ghana. The only person who knew about what I was doing was Kalosechi, but he didn't even know everything about it. So me and Robert Hougier arranged, and we both came to Ghana at the same time. I had him in the hotel at the airport. I did this for Ghana. Nobody knows. And they're standing there doing gamro, and talking, and they don't even know who Victor Tieku is. And Robert Hougier and Betty Mould can attest to this. Went to Betty Mould and talked to her. This is how Betty Mould gave Gamro the license. I did it. Yeah, Betty Mould was the Attorney General. I did it. Victor Tieku, did it. I say this loud and clear. Victor Tieku did it. Not Rexoma, not Kalosechi, not Makokre Kumandi, not Mr. Simons, not Kobianchi, Victor Tieku. What did I do? I played high stakes. I did the real work. You see, you can't have a CMO without connecting to the rest of the world. So if you're going to connect to the rest of the world, why don't you go connect to the world first? and then have them come and do the negotiations. It's interconnectivity. The same problem we have in Ghana with the industry. It's interconnectivity. When they go to talk to the radio stations, what capacity are they talking to the radio stations? How are they even talking to them? So you go to Kwesi Chum. Kwesi Chum is my schoolmate. Kwesi Chum. What do you call it? What's the station called? Is that multimedia? Joy FM. Kwesi Chum is my schoolmate. He's my schoolmate. He's my junior in school. Okay? I've not dealt with him in business. He is the one who connected me to Michael Kreku. Ask Michael Kreku how he came to be recording in Campsite. I brought music, the same music that was supposed to be on the catalog at Kosga. That Abraham tells me it wasn't on the Kosga. When I came, I went to Kwesi Chuma. I said, Kwesi, and he hadn't seen me for a long time. And he says, oh, you see, I'm half a Kwapim, and Kwesi's a Kwapim. I said, whoa, we have a Kwapim friend too here. He works with me here. He's called Mark Okreku. He called Mark into the office, and I gave Mark my cassettes. He was supposed to promote my music. And I invited him to come to Campsite, to come and see Campsite. That's how he came to Campsite and saw that. And he saw that Mallet was working there. And that's how he started recording in Campsite, recording all those Lord Kenyans. Yes. So, you see, I've been enabling behind the scenes without making a lot of daddy about it, you know. And this is the real work. This is how things work. You become the guy the glue who puts things together. They're asking questions that we have answers to. And when I hear the questions, I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. No, Gamro should not be there. The problem with Gamro is personnel. The first problem we have is, what exactly are you doing the job for? Gamro is a private in business. It is not totally a private business. Besides, every private business in Ghana is licensed or registered in Ghana. It helps to the national bottom line. It alleviates, it creates employment, it satiates certain needs within the country. It's Ghana first. Yeah, exactly. So, oh, no, we can penetrate. We can penetrate. The thing is this, we can penetrate, but the penetration is not to those sitting over there. Those sitting over there are hired by those who voted. You see, this is a democracy, and it is very important that we do things properly. Okay? My thing is with the Ghanaian musician. I understand why the Ghanaian musician or the Ghanaian rights owner chooses what they choose. Because in the absence of nothing, what are they going to do? The same way we had with the Ghana Black Stars. The moment we started bringing foreign players to come play, we were winning tournaments, right? We were going places. There's this notion in Ghana that if you live abroad, you can't, that's all bull. You are choosing the wrong things. We don't feel more Ghanaian than anybody else. Jesus, I'm proud Ghanaian, man. We don't feel more Ghanaian than anybody else. We are all the same. The integrity, what is it? Look at the way the country is going. We need to straighten this. If we straighten this music industry, the same model can be used to straighten a lot of similar industries. Because you see, you think I'm the only crusader?
No.
Read Facebook, read the internet.
Exactly.
Look at how many Ghanaians are crusading. There are so many Ghanaians who want to have a voice, who want to contribute. People are doing stuff. But the Ghanaian in place, because it's a democracy, has to choose what's better for them. But, and it's about time they did it. Because
again, Mr. Tieku, I'm thinking it's because it's a private company. You cannot go and tell Despite that he should change his content into English because he's
the CMO is different. No. The CMO is different from Despice's company. Listen, you know what the CMO is? Collective Management Organization. It's not just one management organization.
We have to stand. We have to rise and because if they take that position in the Ghanaian musicians' career and they are not delivering, it's been over 2 decades. They're still not delivering.
Yes, the thing is that over the years, you know, we like me, I try to be as civil and work within the system as possible. I'm a member of Gamro. I have music in Gamro. I am a member of Gamro. I qualify for everything that anybody else in Gamro qualify for.
Okay.
I have songs in BMI. I have songs in ASCAP, but I have an album in Gamro. Okay? I have every legitimate right. The point is this: it's a popularity game. Why is Rexoma so famous? And why is Rexoma famous? Because he released music. Why was Kodjentri a president? Because Kodjentri released albums. Kodjentri is a good artist, a good musician. He's a good person. He's my friend. Yeah. Rexoma, he's my friend. I like him because I like his fight. But you see, to me, if you really can't do something, don't tell the masses that you're going to do it. Exactly. It's not an emotional job. The people's lives are on the line, and we need real solutions. Look, it's becoming too late. We are like in Tree. We say yeah. You know, it's the mediocrity is too much. Look at the musicians. When I come to Ghana, people that I stood on stages or I watched, I idolized, watching them play, suffering like they're nothing. Exactly. I mean, it's so sad. You know, it's so sad, and it's not because they've lived a life and they've not honed in their craft. They've done everything they're supposed to do. If you can't do it, don't say you can do it. If you can't do it, don't give excuses.
Exactly.
Be honorable enough to tell the people where they're at Rami and Yami and Yami level. Be honorable enough to tell people. And so anybody who's going to try to do a job, because you see, people use positions to get connections. People use positions to make money. Because it's not, making money is not just stealing. Making money is having the connection so you can get the networking to do. And when you have certain positions, that's what you try to get. You know? That is a disservice to your countrymen. It's a disservice to humankind. You cannot do that. And I'm telling you, I don't have to say anybody doesn't know what they are doing. Look at the facts. 10 years. Have they been able to collect from radio and TV? Have they been able to get good licenses? Have they been able to increase? Like they say, like Reshoman says this. And it's not only Reshoman said it. Everybody who sat at the Gamma thing have said this. We only have 30% to use for the CMO. Is a law. Okay. 30% of what? 30% of 1 million is only what? 300,000, right? Huh?
So what is 30% of 1 billion for?
That's the law allows the management to use 30% of the monies they collect. Okay.
For what? The
distribution? For internal workings of the salaries, enhancements. But
that's all they've been doing. That's all they've been doing with our money.
No, but listen. Yeah, but listen, because they do work, and the government agreed on 30%.
Daddy,
fine.
They don't do 30%. No work. To me, they just sit in that office.
No, they do work, but they don't do it efficiently. They do work, but maybe you say they don't do it efficiently. But let me tell you this: when you raise only 1 million and you take 300,000 out,
Daddy, it can
why don't you go raise 1 billion?
With that money,
why don't you go raise 1 billion and take 300 million out?
Daddy,
you see,
with that money,
yes,
Kosga can employ 5 lawyers that work speciality for copyright issues.
It's not about employing lawyers. Rodney, don't let me interrupt you.
Legal...
It's not about employing lawyers. The law is made by Parliament.
Yeah.
Lawyers.
But if you don't
use
have
the law,
strong solicitors to even create the law for you, like, because the copyright laws are universal, so you need
no the laws that we see. Look, we have most of the laws we need already. Look, this whole thing about certain laws have to be tweaked because of the changing of the times. We have most of the laws we need already. There are certain areas that is new technology, new stuff that we need new laws that the Parliament has not gotten to. The lawmakers have not gotten to yet because they don't have the knowledge about it. You see, and they need to be educated about it. But lawyers use the law. The Constitution, the law, and the books is what lawyers use. It's not lawyers we need. We need more than lawyers. We need higher than lawyers. We need to be able to reach the politicians if we need to make laws. But it's not about that. You see, when the laws are made, the laws are enforced by what do you call it? The law officers.
But Daddy,
okay,
look on this ratio. Most of the American artists, most of their publishing firms are legal firms. Their managers, legal firms.
Because the laws in this country, laws are argued here or there. There are two sides. It cuts both ways, right?
Yeah. So
they do that. They work within the law. The law is in Ghana just like it's here. Exactly. The law is not missing in the Ghana books. The law is there. Yeah. It is how you apply the law and how you enforce the law, like the lawyer said on the show. But how you apply the law and how you enforce the law. Reaction Man said on the tape, they've gone to sit down with 4 police officers.
Yeah.
To help them go collect money. The police officers cannot go collect the money. What are police officers going to do to go collect money?
No.
Police officers answer to the courts.
Of course.
Yes. So you see, there's another problem. The solution is different. I know the solution. I'm not going to say it because they're not going to take credit for what I teach them because they don't respect some of us who are outside the country and what we've got to bring. And it's about time the Ghanaian musician, the rights owner, started standing up and knowing those who actually made what they are fighting for. Because sometimes I don't want to talk about it because it sounds like you're boasting or you're bragging or something like that. But this is real. This was my life. I did this. And they can go ask Carlos Sechi, they can go ask Robert Hougier, they can go ask Betty Moore who talked to her, they can go ask Bruno in France, they can go ask Cesac, they can ask all those questions. They'll get the answer. It will still come to Victor Tieku. And nobody employed me. As they are making money sitting down there saying they're volunteering, I volunteered way more than $42,000 of my time. I volunteered for Ghana and nobody has broadcasted it ever. I have not broadcasted it. If my family knows that I spend this money on Ghana and I have nothing to show for it, it might not be a lot of money for somebody, but I'm a working musician, You see? And so when we're talking about the rights owners, understanding that the job, now they've come to the point where when we were saying, we are not doing it. They were not there yet because sometimes they'll share 2 million, sometimes they'll share 3 million. So they thought it was good money. Now the economy has gone so bad. The pandemic has made people see that it is more dangerous now, living standard wise, So now people are yelling more. But we've been complaining, but we keep getting shut down. You won't be all that stuff, But yeah, what this kabagane. The diaspora supplies most money to the country. What, apart from maybe the oil industry now, what other industry brings more money than the diaspora? And then when we come, you want to take us out. But it's not even that. We've got solutions. So to me, all my ranting and all my raving is to the Ghanaian rights owner. Right now, Dixon and Co. took this case to court. The Constitution has been breached. Procedures have been sidestepped. Why? Because you want to sign a $4 million deal? That needs serious investigation. My other question I have, Abraham was the documentation person at COSGA. I don't know what other education or whatever he did in that. I mean, I know when he was there, he watched all that stuff. But all the rights owners in Ghana complained that COSGA was doing a bad job. That's why we wanted to get rid of COSGA. Okay? So whatever it is that those guys were doing, Pozumpra and Co. and all that, they could have done whatever they did that they say is good. But the verdict is that the rights owners disagreed. Right? Okay? Abraham, you were there as a documentation officer. How does he jump from documentation officer of a CMO to a CEO of a CMO? Listen, look, you have a resume. The people who are saying the resume is good, do they know the requirements? Because to me, what he's supposed to do over there, he could do it. He should have been able to do it. And to say that Ghanaians are using satanic radio stations and no, they're not paying, we know that. What's new? So How do you get them to pay? Don't give me the excuse. And I'm not trying to tell you that you go and become a flying angel to go and get the excuse, because it doesn't take a flying angel to solve this problem. There are solutions. If you don't know it, you come and you humble yourself and you ask. You can travel abroad. You've got enough capital to go. You can ask. But you see, the problems in Africa is unique to the black man and the black woman, you know? And some of that, putting it together, thinking about other ways of doing it, takes a lot of creativity. And that creativity is what they don't have. That creativity is the kind that I used to get Robert Hugier to come to Ghana. Think about it. A director of a CMO in South Africa, a board of directors of CESAC. Do you know how powerful they are? How can a mere Victor Tieku go there and convince them to do what they did? They didn't charge me a penny. It's negotiations, it's working together. And look, I've never held the purse of Gamro. I've never held the purse of anything in Ghana. I've never made any money from the state of Ghana. I've not made any money from any Ghanaian musician. Never. You know? All these people crying and saying, we want our money, we want our money. The Gamro itself, that is there, the Gamro itself. They were in, I'll speak a little trade. They were to Tupa Pass in, I mentioned the day spot before I brought the solution. And most of them who are there don't even know I brought the solution, because it doesn't matter. But now it's mattering, because you know why? I say it's not a little thorn scratching us, bringing us blood whilst we are walking to the river. We are having daggers now in our chest. Ghanaian musicians are bleeding. Who the moderator? I like the moderator. The moderator is a good guy. I don't know him. What is his name? What's his name? Rudy Kwachi. I liked him. I liked him. Yes, I need to talk to him. I need to talk to him. No, you see, Rodney, there is an underlying current in our country. And the musicians, because we are on the podium, because we perform, because we are out on the airwaves all the time, we are bringing this to light. There is a certain current that we really need to seriously sit down and change. Now, I didn't know who he was. I didn't know what his credentials was. I didn't know what his achievements were, but I just liked him. I got a good vibe out of him. The solutions is not sitting down there and talking to somebody, because what is that somebody going to do? What is he going to do? These are doing things. Let me tell you something. No, you don't go blame your government. You are part of the government. You see, the pointing fingers is not what I'm trying to do here. What I'm saying, yes. Now, the government, if you go talk to any politician, they are looking for solutions just like you and I, just like most people are doing. You think they are there, okay, they're making money, maybe you can blame them for this, and then we've had some unscrupulous dealings with our leadership. We really have. But you know what? You think they don't get tired of hearing they're not doing this, they're not doing that. There's a percentage inside of them that wants to have things done right. Okay? I've not totally combed through that bill. I've not read through that bill totally. I can intelligently respond on different aspects of it. You know, I just know that the creative arts I know creative arts are in other countries, but the music industry is a unique, different thing from the creative arts. The music industry, elements of the music industry is inclusive in the creative arts, but the creative arts doesn't solve the music industry's problems. That's just one side of it. You see, bulk of the musicians, bulk of the industry centers around musicians playing. The live scene is the biggest income earner in the industry. Okay, the most employed are the live musicians. They are suffering more. What? They have what? Yes, but Rodney, let me ask you this question. How many hours does an average human being work in the world a week? 40 hours in America. Before overtime, 40 hours. How many hours does a musician work a week in Ghana? Exactly. Well, do you know that it shouldn't be like that? Do you know a musician can work a lot? If there's another problem that with the live scene, I don't want to touch on that now because I need to be in a certain situation to talk about that because I don't want to talk. I want the solutions. I have the solutions. That's what I'm saying. I'm telling people emphatically, I have the solution. I'm telling you, for Ghana, I can talk for 10 days. For Ghana, look, you see, uh-huh. Okay. Listen, there is no way we will not have something going on. The point is this. To me, I keep telling you, the whole thing is about the rights owners. They choose who should represent them.
Yeah.
It's that simple. Because it's a democratic situation.
Yeah.
I am a member of GAMRO. I am a member of GAMRO. If they try to take me out again like they did before, I'll take them to court. And not Ghanaian court. I'm telling you, I'll take them to court somewhere else, not in Ghana.
Yeah.
If they try to take my cue sheet out of that GAMRO again, I'll take them to court because they've done that before. My point is, I'm a member of GAMRO. I want to tell those who vote that, look, Dixon and Co, they had their issues. They've taken it to court. I don't know what's going on, what the final thing is, but I'm in contact with them. I know what's going on. I've talked to Darlington. Nobody is trying to come and take somebody away unless you think you need that position for your survival. This is for all of us. You are all songwriters and you are part of it. It's a collective management thing. So the whole thing should work so that we can all make money. Really, I would even like want the thing to work where I'm not even talking.
Exactly.
Because I want to be writing my songs. Ghana hasn't even heard my songs. And all these years, I've been trying to learn to do things. Now I'm ready to put out my music for Ghanaians to learn. Why did I become a musician? I didn't become because I wanted to become. I am a musician.
Exactly.
I didn't choose to be a musician. I am a musician.
You are.
I can't change it. You know? So the thing is this. For a CMO to work, we need the right people making it work. Right now, we are at a point where it is not like we have a flat ground, we are in equilibrium, and we're trying to make it better. No, we are down in the doldrums. We need to bring it to equilibrium and then to make it better. So this needs drastic measures. This needs real knowledge. Movers and shakers. That's what we need. People who can get things done. People who, when they sit in a room negotiating, they're talking things that every businessman, every entrepreneur in the room can say, I agree to that. You know, it's like listen to the senators, listen to people, do deals on stuff, come into agreements. That's what the solutions are. But what are the factions of the industry? We're just talking about Gambo. Even just in Gambo, we cannot do anything. Right now, this pitch, you put Trigmatic on the stage, you put Rexoma, and then you put what's his name, Abraham. That panel, and then okay, the lawyer was there. I don't know. I think her last name is Kwaku, right?
Yeah.
The Abraham and Rexoma and Trigmatic. I heard Trigmatic is not even a registered. He doesn't have a song on Gambro. He's registered
Because
outside Gambro.
he's just like me, who is skeptic. I went to Gambro to register. I had a problem in 2002 with a record label, Brick City Records. They actually signed Asafo Records.
Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay, so then I'll multitask. Okay.
Yeah. They signed Asafo Records with 15 of my artists. Not directly with my artists, but they signed me. So if I have to move, I had to move with my catalog. So I moved with 15 artists from Dansuman to Newtown. And this rich kid, he was a prince, Nana Kwame. He wanted to support the business. But after a year of me working hard, producing songs, that's why I met Trigmatic, J Foley, KGPM, and a lot of these industry cats, because they were coming up. Even Shatawale, that's where I met him. So I realized the executive producer of this deal wasn't doing what he said he was going to do. So I was trying to register the works I have done that I have not been paid, but I was housed by Brick City Records, meaning the studio was his. So I went to Gamro, then Kosga. Yeah, I remember. In the ministries there, some place. To tell them, listen, I'm working with this guy. This is the problem. They told me I have to type the statement, whatever I'm saying. So I went down to a secretariat. They used a typewriter, typed the whole, query. So I wanted to register my work, and it was on hard drives. I remember that time it was about 500 gig hard drives. I had two. And then I put a couple of the records on CDs. So they had a team to listen to my production. At that time, the songs I was creating, I had a different mind. I was thinking of a genre. So Asafo was actually going to be a genre. So I was telling them I was doing something special. And they said, how special do you think your thing is? So play your song, let's listen. If I play this song, they said, Rodney, this song, the kicks come from the Bee Gees. This song, the kick, they were defining my tunes. So
they were saying what? The kicks come from what?
Like the drum pattern, it's not original.
So what? So you have to.
You get me? So basically, they were able to just get one song to say, Rodney, we think you created this song. Yes, that one you can say is you, but you need a lot of it to build a genre or something. But at that level, I wanted them to represent me as a producer who is being robbed by a rich man, right? All my records, I've worked for a year with over 15 artists. Brethren B, Gravedigger, Aingba Gome, Nature. I recorded KGPM. I recorded Trigmatic. I recorded Shatawale. Listen, it was a big catalog. And I just needed representation as a producer who I think I've done my work. And if there is a copyright body who can say, this is what a producer owns, and this is what your artist owns, and this is what the studio owner who paid, he's a financier. He paid for electricity. He gave you guys some food, some refreshment. This is his percent. So we can have a solution. Back in 2002, it couldn't happen for me. Do you get me? So I walked out with a copy of my query, and I think I have it in my file somewhere till now. Coast Guard couldn't help me as a Ghanaian producer going through this kind of thing. But I think if a teacher has worked for a school for a year with no salary, he will have somewhere to go like NAGRAT or some teachers association, and they will pressure the school to pay that salary to that teacher. Do you understand what I'm saying, Daddy? Exactly. So this is what I'm looking at. So I'm saying now, your position. What would you tell Gamro? What exactly do you think Gamro should do now? Because the youth are angry. The artists, they don't understand what's going on. Already it's too technical for a creative person to understand.
Yeah, you see, the thing is, it takes a board. It takes a board to make policy.
Yeah.
It takes a board to come up with what we call the executive order, that you give to administration to enact, to work on. And electing just one person onto the board doesn't work. You need to get a group of people on the board who know what, you see? And people have to be willing to work selflessly for Ghana. See, look, like there was this situation I was here, I heard they went, and Rexoma was a part of this, and Obua and also I think Ras Caleb was also part of it, and some people, they went to Parliament to ask for money for the music industry. And Parliament told them they should prove to the country, they should prove to Parliament what they contribute to the bottom, what the music industry contributes to the bottom line. And they gave them money to find that out. They asked for money to do research to find that out.
Daddy.
And they took that money. Let me finish. And they took that money and they turned it into an audit firm, an international accounting firm, to find out how the music industry contributes to the bottom line. You see, look, I can use a lot of language, and I've used a lot of language when I hear this. The whole premise of they going to government, asking for money for the music industry, that even should have never happened.
Exactly.
Why is a music industry asking for cash from government? It means there's a problem. Government should have known that. It means something is not going well in the music industry, because it is an industry.
Daddy.
Well, let me finish with my points. Now, government asking the people who went that they need to see what they contribute to the bottom line. Why is government asking an industry what they need to see? Government should know. Government should have a way to know how every industry contributes to the bottom line. Doesn't government have a way of finding out how an industry contributes to the bottom line? This is information government should know. It is ineptness for government for them to ask the music industry to come with the information. And then they turn the thing and they ask for money to go find the information.
But Daddy, if
And
you
then
have
what they use
a minister who cannot, or a member of parliament, who cannot speak English, read and write.
No. It's not even that. I'm not blaming government that government should know because they are not smart enough. That's not what I'm saying. The systems should have been in place for government on one ask to get that information. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Government should have that information at its disposal, at their disposal. The music industry should not be going to government asking for money. If music industry is going to government, music industry is going to go to government to ask for certain statutes or certain reduction in tariffs, certain decisions that will help the industry. If we ask for grants, that's good. That goes to the creative side of things. But certain rules, laws that will help generate growth in the industry. Now, government then gives them they say 1 billion or whatever, or 2, whatever. I don't know what the exact amount, but government gives them money.
2 million.
And the leadership of the music, how much? Yes, and that money is taken to an audit firm.
No.
To do what?
They did an estimate. They brought an invoice. They use half of the money for auditing.
And then the other half for how did they find out that information?
Tables and chairs.
Look, I tell you, look. The solutions we have, the solutions I have, me and my we worked on. 6 months. 6 months. At the touch of a finger, you will know what the music industry is doing for the Ghana bottom line. 6 months. You don't need any money from government to do it.
Only tables and chairs. And secretary.
They're always looking for ways to do procurement. They're always looking for ways to get money out of the national coffers. Ghanaians are suffering. Don't they see people still not wearing shoes with their pants, no wearing underwear, with their bodies walking down the street? Don't they see still people living like that in Ghana?
They have a bigger business plan. They're building a complex. You get me? We know software. They still want people to move from north to Camera office before they can sign up. And that is a shame.
You see, there's got to be a will to want things to work in our country. There's got to be a will. And I tell you, this is a country, this is a democracy. And so things are decided by the people. So all I'm saying is to the rights owners, the people who elect your leaders. It doesn't take one person to fill a board. You got to do. We need. As I'm talking to factional leaders too. This is not some popularity contest. This is not somebody trying to become popular or something like that. I've done that with my money already for Ghana. I've done that for Ghana. Nobody paid me a penny. Nobody told me to do it. So when we say we've got solutions, we are not the ones coming to say, give me money to do this. No, I want I've got the gene already as a musician. My children, they're singing good. I want my children's children to live in a country that the industry is good because their father helped make it good. And a good industry will help our country's image. A lot of things rise on music. Kwame Nkrumah used to take a band everywhere we goes with the Blasters. High Life and Ghana Soccer was enhancing Ghana's image. Now you're talking about tourism. Now the thing has gone on the Ministry of Tourism. How is music going to represent Ghana? And the industry stinks. Michael Kiku can't tell me the industry is good. Then Michael Kiku, you've only been a label owner, producing people. That is one side of the industry. There's a whole different level of the industry that you don't know anything about. You know, don't say the industry is good. The Ghana music industry is very bad. No, I can't believe people are saying these things and they're getting away with it, and people think it's such. No, this is a national emergency. This is a security issue to me, because my industry is really in trouble. You know, we had to disobey our parents to be in this industry. You know.
Yes, Daddy. Yes, Daddy. It's been a great conversation.
I can talk for 10 hours. I mean, are there people online? Are there people online?
Yeah, there are people online.
How many people are there online? I can't see if there's anybody online.
Yeah, on Facebook.
How many people are on there?
Online. Yeah, we had, we had Isaac Murphy, Brian Stone Farmer, Tinkunta, Kelly, Latin Mensa, Pakistan, is sticking with us. Yeah. And they to be spreading around the field, So, Teddy, we are very honored to have you here.
Yeah, I've got to go. I've been up all night. I've been talking to you since one something. Now it's 6:43 a.m. in my time here.
Yeah, we are using the American UK time. Yeah, Daddy. Yes, Daddy. Your last words to the fans in Ghana and the young musicians.
We are one of the fingers of God. We do nature's work. We do God's work. We play music. We don't have to be playing music in church to be doing God's work. You make people happy. You make people smile. That's what we are. That's what our profession is. We are used and abused by different industries. We are cheated. Everybody thinks we have more money than we have. We also have to live, But they should keep the faith, because they shouldn't think there are no people in Ghana who don't know this business. The people who know this business way more than those over there who are making noise. Yeah. And it is you, the musician, who's going to empower those who know to come work for you. That's how the system works. The system doesn't work the other way around, where somebody pays money to come and be a boss. And if the system works that way, it means that person has ulterior motives. They're trying to get something out of you. If they cannot play, they cannot do this, they cannot do that, and they don't have a selfless attitude towards helping the Ghanaian musician, they don't need to be sitting down there representing you.
Exactly.
Because look, I've played on any stage you can imagine. I've played at Glastonbury Music Festival. I've played at Oktoberfest. I've played, Jesus, we've done it. We've been there, we've done it. We played in a show where you see the backstage crowd, the amount of drinks in the backstage is bigger than your biggest nightclub in Ghana. That we don't even touch. This is not the time for us to try to be. We've done that in our youth. This is the time to help our country and to help our musicians. You keep choosing the wrong people to lead you, and that's what the problem is. So every time you complain, know that you don't have to complain, because you chose who leads you. Stop choosing the wrong people to lead you, and you'll be having a better industry. That's what I have to say to Ghanaian musicians. Stop choosing the wrong people to represent you. You're welcome. Thank you, Rodney. I'll be back home very soon. COVID, we have COVID down now, so I'll be back home. We'll be sitting down there at DC, doing what we do. Why? You're banned? Okay, well, next time I'm going, I'll come to England. I don't need a visa to come to England. Next time I'm going, I'll come to. Oh, you made me play guitar with my guitar in the wrong position. No pick, no warm up, nothing. You made people listen to me playing loud guitar. Oh my God, this is this guy. When the rain falls, it doesn't fall on one man's housetop. Remember that. When the rain falls, remember that. When it gets good, it doesn't get good for only one person. No. It gets good for everybody. So, and who knows it feels it most? Robert Nesta wrote all the lyrics that every struggling man has got to put in his head every day, And you got to stand up and fight for your rights. Don't give up the fight. And one good thing about music is when it hits, it feels no pain. You feel no pain. So, brethren, rock, man, we are band boys. Enjoy the music. All right. Thank you guys very much. I can't see your faces, but I know my people. I know my people. I know my people. My people are always great people. All right. You're welcome. Bye-bye. All right. Okay. You have a tape of this? Yes. Okay, shoot me a tape. All right, shoot me a tape. Everlasting.